Hey everybody, welcome to the Snyder Cut edition of DC Action Hour. All right, that's enough of slow motion. That's all the slow motion we'll do in tonight's episode, folks, in honor of the Snyder Cut. My name is Jeff. Thank you for joining us. This is DC Action Hour. We talk all different kind of DC movies and shows. And tonight we are talking the 4-hour opus Snyder Cut that released last week on HBO Max. I am joined as always by Marx Pyle and Fernandez.
Hello.
Hello.
Marx is like, oh, hello.
Hello.
Very formal. With a
Hello.
Thank you everybody for joining us in the chat. So we're gonna probably try to break down as much as we can. We're gonna talk things we like, things we didn't like as much compared to theatrical version of Justice League. Talk about a lot of stuff. We definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts. You know, we love hearing those. So please share your thoughts in the chat. I see a bunch of people already in there. Thank you guys for watching. Martha, Lister's mate, Josh, Scorpio, Kathy. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Carrie, everybody. Appreciate it very much. And if you're watching in post, thank you as well. We like to kick things off with a super tweet question, which is a fun question before we kind of dive in to Snyder Cut. Hey, Francis, you want to read that?
Yeah, you look, this movie was jam-packed full of characters, but maybe you didn't see one that you were looking for. So what character would you have loved to have seen as a cameo or more in the Snyder Cut?
And please put your choices in the chat. Francis, let's start with you because you said before the show you're ready with yours.
Mm-hmm. The cameos I would have seen because, again, you know, with the resurrection of Superman, how great would it have been to see Steel and Superboy and Cyborg Superman, and
because they all came out when he was dead, right? And
that
would be perfect. You're right.
Yeah, they kind of appeared. Well, they did appear when he died.
This is why they appeared.
Yeah, and that's So how great would it have been to kind of, even if it was just for a second, just to kind of see them like wave and then leave.
Man. I love it. Yeah. Josh says Crypto.
Oh, that'd have been great.
Nice, Carrie. Kara Zor-El, so Supergirl. That would have been really cool if Melissa Benoist made a cameo.
If Melissa Benoist just was like walking past the scene where he's resurrected, and she kind of just stops and looks and like she recognizes him somehow, but doesn't know where. Yeah, just keeps walking by.
Because they had Ezra Miller in the Crisis, right? So they could have done the reverse and have the TV actor in one of the TV actors in the movie. That would have been cool. All right, folks. So, and by the way, folks, right now, we're probably going to be mostly spoiler free at the moment. We are going to be lots of spoilers as we get into things. Just to warn you, if you have not seen it though. Marx, who would you like to have seen appear in the Snyder Cut?
Well, I got my number one. That was Martian Manhunter. So
we're going to talk more about him later.
So anybody else, that I know he wanted to have him in there, but I think John Stewart Green Lantern would have been really cool.
Now, is that is that the Green Lantern he wanted, or
I believe so, right?
Because that's my favorite. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it is the one he wanted. And also, besides that, I think like it would have been nice to have the TV Flash, like whenever he did that big Fast Gen Light run and things get wonky. That would have been a perfect time to like see the other Flash. Yeah. But otherwise, Supergirl. I know I've heard that. If you look when they go down the hallway and there's like one Cairo pod thing open, that's supposed to be a hint. That was in a previous movie too. That would be Supergirl that she had left before. So
like when they're in the ship.
Yeah, so that Supergirl might be out there somewhere.
Nice.
So, and she's tied to Darkseid a lot in stories. So, but yeah, that's something.
All right. Listener's Mate says, what if She-Hulk showed up for a second? We could have hinted that there would be an eventual DC Marvel crossover.
Oh, let's just make Amalgam already. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah. I was joking before the show that Deadpool should show up.
That would fun. Martha asked a good question. Why is there a black and white version now? Listener's Mate says, I guess because of WandaVision. I actually don't think it has anything to do with WandaVision. I just think that was kind of Snyder. Actually, I think it was kind of white. Wasn't that maybe his initial vision even was to do it in black and white possibly?
Well, he did it with another movie, didn't he? Didn't he black and white some other movie of his? I almost want to say he did.
I I can't think of. I'm trying to think. Not the
He
whole
didn't do
movie,
he,
right?
he didn't do Sin City, if
Not-
that's what you're thinking.
No.
And
Like
Sucker
it was
Punch
originally
in
in,
color, right?
yeah, it was in color, but I thought there was a movie he originally did, and then after the fact, did it in black and white. I'm
Chat,
so
if there is,
sure.
tell us in the chat.
300, Watchmen, Sucker Punch. No.
Yeah. Dawn of the Dead, or that was all color. Yeah.
That was all color. You're right. Yeah. I might be thinking of a different director then, because I know there was a direct. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? Maybe actually, I'm thinking of. I think maybe I'm thinking of Mad Max Fury Road, where they did that. I think they did that in black and white too. I know there was a big.
Color.
There was a big movie where they did a version of it. They originally did it out in color, and then they changed it for some reason to black and white. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's
Walking Dead pilot. Walking Dead season 1.
oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
that didn't help.
Josh says I haven't seen the original cut, but I'd be down to see the Wonder Twins. That would have been a fun cameo.
Wonder Twins, yeah. Form of bucket, form of
yes.
water.
Well, that's sorry. Yes, that's one it changes to animals, and one is does some kind of water form. Yeah,
It's always water.
and then the monk, and then Gleek carries him in a bucket of water.
Yeah.
Faux shot. Kyle, thank you for watching. I need to catch up on your Superman episode. He gets a bad rep, but in my opinion, recent stuff has been good. I think he's talking about last week's Superman and Lois episode that we did.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
you can check on our channel. Carrie, it would have been nice to see Jor-El during the resurrection scene.
You heard him, right?
You hear him. Yeah, you hear him.
All right. I am gonna go.
That's it. It was Logan in black and white. Thank you. They did do Logan in black and
Logan
white.
was
I knew it
in
was like a
color.
big movie.
Logan was in color, right?
Yeah, they did in color, but then they did a black and white version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they in theaters. Like they put it back out in movie theaters in black and white. I'm like,
Good call, Carrie. Thank you.
yes, thank you very much.
Snyder
Carrie.
do Logan?
No,
No. But I was under the impression that it was something Snyder did. But
it
I
was the
guess
guy. I'm forgetting his name, but I think it's the same guy who did the Wolverine, the second movie in that Wolverine trilogy. All right, so my choice, I'm going to go with one of my favorite characters, and it was just in the news the other day, so I was thinking of him, Dr. Fate. I think he could.
I was seeing the news.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh,
I think
okay.
maybe in the big, because I feel like, well, Dr. Fate has Egyptian origins, right? So it's obviously thousands of years old, that helmet, I believe, if I remember correctly. So he could have been in that big battle, I feel, in the past, right? So like some version of him or her. And so I think that would have been cool. And I don't ever get to see Dr. Fate usually in things. But actually, Dr. Fate is going to be in the Black Adam movie with The Rock, and Pierce Brosnan has been cast as Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually pretty cool casting.
That's good. Yeah, that's real good. Oh man, I love that.
Yeah, they're gonna have Hawkman and Adam Smasher.
Hawkman's going to be in it too?
Yep.
Oh, thanks, Josh. All right, glad you agree.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, cool.
That would been, they could have done Black Adam back in the past. That big fight. Scorpion King.
Listeners, I mean, yeah, I think DC Marvel crossover would be cool. I don't think you're going to see it, but
Oh yeah.
Never say never. Never say never.
no, I mean, maybe sometime in the future. I don't think anytime soon we'll see it though. Yeah.
It'd be fun to kind of see it in a silly movie like a Deadpool or something, where it's not a full on hey, it's everyone, but like a weird Ben Affleck cameo in that type of movie or something. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, nice. All right, folks, thank you. Again, you can keep putting in your choices of who you want to see in the Snyder Cut that we didn't get to see character-wise. But I guess let's dive in here now.
Spoilers, right?
Yes, there will. This is the start of some spoilers, folks, just to warn you. So I guess we'll start. We usually like to start with some quick overall thoughts, and then we'll dive into more specific things. Obviously, lots of stuff in 4 hours to talk about.
Yeah.
Not this show will not be 4 hours, folks, most likely, but in the 4 hour cut, that's the stuff to talk about.
Oh, God, no.
So I watched the Snyder Cut over 5 days. I was most days I tried to watch about an hour. Obviously, one day was less, but and then I rewatched the theatrical version a couple days after that to refresh myself, so I could have a good memory of what the differences were. So when we did, I'll reiterate that back when Justice League first came out, the theatrical version, I was a big fan of that movie. I know not everyone was. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But I really liked that movie. That and Wonder Woman were my top two for DC. This is before Shazam came out, which I also liked a lot. So overall, for the Snyder Cut, it succeeds, I think, when how it focuses on Cyborg and how there's been very interesting, a lot of extra stuff about Cyborg, his origin, the backstory with the mother box, and some extra stuff with Flash is kind of cool as well. Right, and that's what I was interested in, to seeing what didn't make it. Where it fails, I think, is there's a whole lot of stuff that did not need to ever be in that movie, including the epilogue, which is just goddamn terrible in my opinion. And yeah, overall, I still prefer the theatrical version. I think it's paced much better. Snyder Cut has its stuff that's good in it though. Still, I was glad I watched it to see the differences. I did not realize how wildly different these two films were going to be, though. Like, not at all until I watched the Snyder Cut. They're two very different films. Marx, what'd you think overall?
Yeah, I haven't seen the Whedon version. Last year or whatever. However long it's been. Yeah, when it first came out. And I had some problems with that one, but I did like it better than any of the other movies of DC. But yeah, I mean, I was surprised that the Snyder Cut was much different. And I did like that they elaborated. They definitely added more depth to Flash and Cyborg in this version. And I liked the flashback to the battle with Darkseid and such. It was cool. I don't think that was in.
It was actually. It was in there. It was Steppenwolf instead of Darkseid, though.
Ah, okay.
And it was cut a little differently, of course.
Okay, I couldn't remember that. But well, anyway, I still liked it. It was more memorable this time. But yeah, it's funny how much is CGI, so they could just change. Like Superman's costume's completely different now, you know.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that later
on. But and I thought Steppenwolf looked better, and he had a little bit more. Like it got more about his motivations and stuff than I did in the original movie. So there were good things in there, but yeah, it was way too long. 10% by some estimates of the movie is slow mo, which is too much, and because it just kills the pace sometimes, and it weakens Flash's slow mo scenes because everybody's slow mo all the time, Right. So yeah, but anyway, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I'm glad we got to see it, happen, and we got to see Martian Manhunter, so that's good. But
there you go. That was worth it alone, right?
That was worth it alone.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 Martian Manhunters.
9 Martian Manhunters. Speaking of ratings, Carrie's. We will do our final ratings at the end, but by all means, you can put it in first. Carrie says, "I give it 8 mother boxes out of 10." That's a pretty good rating system.
That's a really good rating. Actually. Yeah.
Folks, so again, we'll get into more specific things in a minute, folks. But again, feel free to share your overall thoughts. Martha says, "How many pee breaks are needed?" That's why I watched it over 4 or 5 days. I don't know, probably at least a couple. Although actually, maybe Francis might possibly answer this question. Not exactly pee breaks, but sorry, he told me his take a couple of days ago. But go ahead.
Oh,
which I laughed out loud when he first told me this.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it in this, I guess, summary. Yeah, look, I think that I actually think this is an improvement over the original cut in the sense that a lot of stuff make more sense. It's funny how it's the exact same story, just told 2 completely different ways. It's amazing how they were able to do that. I saw the first hour and then I took a break and then I just mainlined the last 3. And if I were to give kind of like if people were here for SGU, you'll know what I'm about to say. But I think I fell asleep 7 times during the movie. Like, I don't know if it was during the slow-mo scenes. I don't know if it was that 10-minute scene where Hippolyta takes out the arrow, talks about the arrow, looks at the arrow, then knocks the arrow, says some more things, then releases the arrow. It's like,
we must hurry and warn man. But first,
the arrow is super important to the plot.
I know, but they could have just went, whoom. Arrow.
Well, in the Whedon version, that's exactly what she does.
Yeah.
There's
See,
no
that makes
talking.
much more
You
sense.
shoot an arrow, boom.
Which to me makes more sense. That was a lot of stuff, but I'm saying like there were just so many different scenes where I was just like, wow, I had to rewind it. So I think the 4 hour it took me half a day. It didn't actually take me 4 hours to watch it. It did take me half a day because I did have to rewind because I didn't remember. I'm like, oh my god, where am I? Like, what happened? And I had to go back and watch it. So
You sure you didn't just have dream parts of it, and it's like a weird.
It was like your own nightmare. Like
it was my own
Batman
nightmare. It kind of was.
Was Scooby Doo in the movie? Because that might not be accurate.
No, but there was this guy with gingivitis in it, and he was like talking to me about doing terrible things to my body, and I didn't like
Batman
it.
wanted to sell me life insurance. I don't know.
All right. So, by the way, listeners mate says Christina Wren wasn't in it. So, yeah, I know it's no Wren cut.
1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Let's see here. But he also mentions that Ryan Reynolds played. Oh, the wrong one. I'm sorry. That's the wrong comment. Here it is. Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool and Green Lantern. That's what he meant.
Yes.
So yeah, crossover could be possible between those two things. Scorpio, I'm with Francis on this, making more sense. I couldn't imagine watching the original Justice League without the benefit of already being a lifelong DC fan.
Yeah, you had to know some things for I think that one because who's Steppenwolf?
It does explain.
Why do we care?
But do you think you could cut this movie down to a normal theater length and still have those scenes in there, or you think it's just too long of a script to make that work?
I see. After I watch both, I feel like we really need something in the middle of both of these, because like the original is exactly 2 hours long, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the studio told Whedon you cannot go over 2 hours. I'm not sure actually if that's accurate or not, or if that's just what he wanted to do or decided to do. But it is honestly, after watching Snyder, some stuff in the Whedon version, I was like, oh, this is really rushed now. It feels like, and it's too short, right?
Yeah.
I feel we need something in the middle, like a 2.5, 2:45, right? That would be almost like perfect, I feel, for this movie. Well, I feel you could have done that because there's so much stuff I think you can cut out of Snyder's version.
I've heard of a mythical DC Action Hour cut that does just that. Let's
wow. Let's watch that.
Well, I was going to say,
stream while we watch.
If you just play all of the slow-mo at normal speed, you're done. You got your 2 hours and 45 minutes. You're set.
Let's see. Carrie says, I started watching at like 11 p.m. and had to tear myself away. I woke up the next day to watch the third hour and then watch the final work. I didn't want it to end. All right, Carrie really enjoyed it. Nice. I've actually heard I'm hearing much more people so far from what I've seen online say that they prefer this version. They're digging this version.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I saw Johnny Papas's tweet that he made like a few days ago, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. Thinks it was a cinematic masterpiece. Yeah,
it's his
masterpiece. And said he called it masterpiece and said we need to restore the Snyderverse as a result.
A lot of people are calling for that now.
Yeah. So there's a lot of love.
We might as well get into this right now before we further.
Okay.
So first off, I actually think the theatrical version, Whedon version, whatever you want to call it, actually gets a bum rap. I don't think you guys were super high in it like I was. I think you were kind of more, if that's correct.
Yeah. Yes. That's accurate.
And a lot of people, right, supposedly, I think a lot of people think like, oh, everybody hated this movie. But I moderated the panel at Dragon Con, and there's a lot of people who also like this movie, right? So I think it's kind of in the, some liked it, some didn't. It's fine. It's what a movie is. But I don't think we should necessarily be saying, and I've defended Snyder lots of times, but oh boy, we need to restore the Snyderverse because it was so amazing. It really wasn't, right?
For a lot of people, it was though. For a lot of people,
I actually defended Batman v Superman, to be honest with you. Like I was one of the few because that movie, I think more people really did not. I was actually told I was one of two people at Dragon Con who liked Batman v Superman. I don't think that was true, but and I don't rewatching. I'm not quite as high on that movie as I used to be. And Man of Steel is just not good. Right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. People are forgetting that the box office wasn't doing so great before Justice League. It was not a good direction. It wasn't working for DC in general, right? And and then
Wonder Woman was the one thing that was working, but that was kind of almost totally separate, really, in a way, right?
Yeah, and this is and I like Snyder Cut, but it's also you got to remember they threw another $80 million at this thing. He had unlimited amount of time, which you would not have in theaters either, and you know, I don't know if it would.
Well,
I would say this. Let's say, because I think everybody. I never want to poo-poo anybody's, what they want creatively.
Oh, sure.
To see. I think what would be interesting, if it makes sense financially, if they would do it, is to continue to Snyder cut at least this trilogy of Justice League as an HBO Max exclusive thing.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, and then you can do the other movies, whatever direction they've been kind of going into now. And I think that could play pretty well for Warner. You get kind of both things in a way, right? So
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, in defense of the people who want the Snyderverse, I mean, I know that the biggest kind of complaint is there's nothing. It doesn't have the seriousness and the darkness of a very brooding type of comic book universe, and people like that. And Snyder delivered. While Whedon, I mean, there's more jokes per minute in the Whedon version, definitely. And even though there were jokes in this film, like there were actually quite a few, I was a little surprised.
There's more than you might expect.
Yeah.
Not a ton, but yeah,
I would
more
say
than
there
you
was
expect, probably. Yeah.
Every
but
chapter
Superman never smiled. He kind of halfway grinned whenever he kicked somebody.
Like smirked.
He smirked when he kicked somebody, like, I caused pain. It's like,
who can I fry with my heat vision?
Yeah. And the vision and the him in that black suit beating down, Steppenwolf, Steppenwolf's not a good guy, don't get me wrong. But seeing him beating him down and those red glowing eyes, I'm like, my God, what this is like dark.
He's
Superman.
like doing the Injustice version, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's so brutal. Like that was so unnecessary to I'm not only going to hurt you, I'm going to torture you.
We definitely want to get back to that more later.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
I like your idea about doing that HBO Max version of the Justice League, because you're right. He had 2 other films, right? I think he had planned for Justice League.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of feel this was supposed to be a 2-parter, wasn't it? I feel like this.
Oh,
was
you're
supposed
right.
to be
It was part 1 and part 2 initially. That's what they were going to do.
Well, I read that he was hoping to do, in 2, Lex Luthor would put together an Injustice League or whatever, with Deathstroke and Captain Cold and Riddler and some other characters.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of it, as we kind of got a hint to, Wonder Woman and Aquaman would die. Whatever happens to Lois happens, and whatever happens to Superman, basically everything goes wrong. And then they have to in the third one, Earth's like the nightmare scenario, and they have to travel back in time or do whatever to fix it all. It's what I heard supposedly was his vision. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I definitely understand why people want to see that, see him get to keep doing that vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely some stuff I like about what Snyder's done. Snyder's so tough for me, right? I spend a lot of time defending him, and I also spend time criticizing him because.
But I mean, that's that shows that he gets it right sometimes. I mean, he's not a perfect director, right?
Yeah.
But
I think I said the Marx thing. I always say Snyder is style over substance, spectacle over story. Like when it comes down to it, if I had to summarize that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's unfortunately why I can never get fully behind him, because I want story first.
Because there's stuff what the characters do, like how they move and stuff, that I'm just like, that's stupid looking. I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't make any sense. Like there's a part where Flash like spreads down really interesting.
Oh, right before he's about to run,
and then he runs, and it's like, why did you do that for? And then when he runs, he's always doing this thing, and I'm like, that's not how a runner.
I hate the way.
It's like, Barry, runs. You could run faster if you knew how to run.
It's got a track coach in here.
Yeah. But
the funny thing is, I get why. Visually, it looks. I think visually it looks like okay.
I think it looks crappy visually, like the way he runs.
Well, it's almost like he's.
I think because the electricity, that kind of adds to it, but.
It's because it feels like he's throwing his hands forward as if it gives him more momentum when he throws his hands. Because that's how he's running. He's running with I'm going to throw my hand out first, then throw my other hand out. And that's how he runs. I prefer
the TV Flash running, though.
Well, he runs like a normal human being in TV Flash.
Yes, that's why I would like it. He's not an alien. He's a human being. Let me get to the chat. There's a lot of chat.
Okay.
Scorpio says, I hear that, Carrie. As long as you have the time and patience, this was 4 hours of fun. I was never bored. Okay, cool. He's watched it. Twice so far.
Wow.
Right? That's good.
I'm not fully on board to restore the Snyderverse, Carrie says. I mean, I do remember the mess that was Batman v Supes, and Man of Steel was not as inspirational as it needed to be. Johnny, we were just talking about Johnny before you came on. I'm going on separate tracks and having the Snyderverse and then the other DC movie shows. Okay, so he's like two different kind of ways.
Yeah, I think that could work with HBO Max is to have, if they can afford it, to do that.
Yeah.
And then,
because also says there were 3 planned. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I think like Snyder has always a very strong vision. You're right. The problem is when you have a director who's a very strong vision, is that if they're playing in somebody else's universe, it may not mesh well, right? And I think like if you were like, hey, you do Dark Knight Returns or whatever with Frank Miller's stuff, or you do I don't know, any of the really dark storylines that we've had, and then he's great for that, you know.
Yeah.
But main DC universe, it's like I don't know if that works too well.
Well, I mean, if they never make another Aquaman / Wonder Woman movie, he could technically just take the Justice League and make those movies separate from the rest of the universe, because they're already kind of doing that, aren't they? You know, there's no Shazam, right? There's no Suicide Squad, right?
Barry says that Snyderverse did give us the world that makes that possible.
That's true. That's true. No, yeah. Because where else are they going to implant little bombs in your head?
Johnny also, by the way, prefers Flash in the Snyderverse to the CW. He's cutting through the Speed Force, is how he puts it.
Is okay. Okay.
Nicroy's just joined us. He says he's multitasking but stopping to listen. All right, great. I think it was okay. A bit better than theatrical, but I still want to see the Ren. Of course, the Ren cut is
like, well, Ren cut is
the best.
That's 10 out of 10 right there.
The best one.
All right. We kind of got over. We're already all over the place with this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we said overall thoughts. Let's talk about the stuff we liked, like maybe the best stuff about the Snyder cut, like the best added stuff. What was Francis? Like, what was your favorite?
Oh, by far, Alfred. Oh man, I was so happy there was so much Alfred. I'm like, wow, Alfred's funny, and he's like, oh God, I can't remember his name. The actor,
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons
is great.
I love him. He's so good, and he's great as Alfred. And I really enjoyed all the scenes that he was in the Batcave, fixing things, weirdly enough, telling Wonder Woman how to make coffee or tea. I mean, how to make tea properly. I'm like, okay, a scene that could have been cut, but still, like, all right. But I really, really enjoyed. Alfred was definitely an addition. I don't want to take from anyone else.
I've always loved that character. So yeah, Jeremy Irons, I agree with you, is great. I'm actually later on I want to talk about. I think the whole cast is great.
I think the whole cast is good. Yeah, I like the whole cast. I mean, sure, outside of Alfred, I think everyone's kind of a cardboard cutout, but still, you know, I mean, whatever. Like, they're fun.
All right. Well, you know what? Well, I want to really give props to all these actors, which I did in the original, but seeing how different these movies are and how many I had no idea. Like when I watched these guys at Comic-Con, it was kind of portrayed as like almost the whole film was done. That's how I was getting, like it wasn't going to be that huge of a thing Whedon had to do. But no, man, Whedon, from what I saw comparing them, went back to almost every location and shot something different. And it was so much, and he had to get all those actors come back, right? You have two so different directors and how their style and vision, right? And you have the actors, I think, doing the same great job with both directors. That's impressive from the acting standpoint. So I want to give credit to all those actors. Like they did an awesome job, I feel.
Yeah,
coming back too, and like so much later, right? And having to redo stuff and a totally different story. Like they're like, what the hell's going on here? Probably like. I'm sorry, Francis. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree with you 100%. And again, it's like, and it's funny because it's sometimes the scene is almost exactly the same, except for like a line or two, right? Yeah. And they went back for one line or two. I'm like, okay, all right, we need to, and it makes sense because you have to compress a 4-hour story into a 2-hour movie, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Listener May says DC needs more Alfred.
Yeah.
There you go. Johnny says Patty Jenkins bombed on Wonder Woman 84. I wouldn't mind Snyder directing the next Wonder Woman film. I think. Well, I agree. I don't think any of us really loved Wonder Woman 84.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? That's right. But Marx and it was who we just had on our show,
Marisa,
who was reviewing it with us. Yes. So I don't. It's funny. I'm not sure if I want Snyder directing it. Although part of me actually thinks Gal Gadot is better as Wonder Woman in Justice League than in the Wonder Woman movies, which might sound really weird.
Well, not the
Better in
first one.
I think she's better in the first one.
She's better in the first one.
I don't know. There's something about her in Justice League. Like, I really like her character. I mean, I liked her character a lot in Wonder Woman 1 as well. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I almost just feel like there's something more natural about her acting in Justice League. I don't know. Maybe it's
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, she's great in both.
But I mean, like what I heard, like there was a lot of changes from what Snyder wanted to do. Is he wanted to be like the Crimea War or something instead of World War One, and he wanted.
Oh right.
If I understand correctly, and I could be slightly off on this, but I'm pretty sure he wanted all the Amazonians to have been like back in the past, they were like sexually assaulted or something like that, and that's why they turned on man and stuff.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and Betty Jenkins is like, we're not doing that. Sorry.
Well, I mean that's his style, and dark is his style.
It's not too surprising with Snyder, but I was like, that's not a very good. These are warrior women and stuff. It's why would you do that?
Just let them be warriors.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there were a few cringe lines for me for Wonder Woman in this movie. Oh, go ahead.
Carrie says, I love the town folks singing that folklore song about Aquaman. No joke. If you lived in an isolated corner of the world, personally protected by God, you sing songs about him too.
And smell his shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's a traditional, was it Norway or whatever, Scandinavian type folk song about a woman who pawns for this man who goes and stuff. So, yeah.
Jalou just
That's what
joined
she
us.
did.
Hey, Jalou, thank you for watching. He says, what would a DCU series movie be like to center itself around the day-to-day life of what has been a background or supporting character, like a sitcom? Oh, it's a little like WandaVision almost.
Well, they did it with oh my
TV
God.
show.
Yeah, there was that TV show that was like who cleaned up after the superheroes, and it was the DC universe, and it had Bruce Wayne's cousin played by Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah.
What was it called?
Was it Powers or no?
No, Powers was
That was a
something
different one,
else.
right?
Vanessa Hudgens, I think, was the main character.
Oh,
in
I
that
know the
one.
one you mean.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, somebody on the chat will tell us, I'm sure.
Yeah. So that was they kind of tried to do that. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out, which I was kind of sad too, because I think that was Adam West's last on-screen performance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Johnny says it's Icelandic.
Icelandic.
Thank you, Johnny. Comics are fun. Thank you for watching. It says Whedon was a company stooge. Warner at the time was like, get a movie cut from what we don't have to spend any more money and get it to theaters. Which is so weird now, right? Because like you said, they spent another $80 million on the Snyder cut.
But they spent like another $100 million on the Whedon cut too to get them
right?
back. Yeah, to get them back.
I don't know why they had to have it in like such a certain time frame. Then I mean, 2 hours.
Well,
I
I think they were competing at the time with
Justice League or Avengers movies.
Yeah, one of the Avengers movies. I forget which one.
Probably Infinity War, right?
Oh yeah.
Although Justice League didn't come out anywhere near those movies.
It didn't. When did it come out?
Come in November. Justice League came out in November of 2017.
And when did Justice League come out?
They always come out in the like May time.
I mean, okay.
Unless one of them.
I mean, did it come out before Infinity War? Because maybe they were trying to make it before Infinity War.
I'm not sure about that timeline. Yeah. I think it was before Infinity War.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because I feel like that's part of the problem with the strategy with DC when they first rolled this out is they were just too much like we want to be where Marvel's at right now, and it's like I don't know if you can do that or not. I mean, if you could have any characters,
right?
Yeah, if you could have any characters, it could be them, but you couldn't radically change them, which Snyder did, I just Marvel spent a lot of time building up the franchise like they've done. So
that's true.
Yeah.
They tell us it's powerless. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
The show. Comics are fun. Everybody else who got it in the chat. That was the show you guys talking about.
Yeah, which I actually like that show.
That's funny.
It was a funny show.
Johnny says best part for him of the Snyder cut, more Cyborg and Flash and not making them both look like idiots in the film. I agree with Johnny. I agree. I think that was my favorite part of the Snyder cut for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, man, Cyborg is kind of really the heart of this film in the Snyder cut. There's so much stuff about what happened to him and stuff with his father, and even the mother box creating him, and like, man, you like really get. I mean, I liked him in the first one, but you really get invested in his character. I feel in this version.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do shortchange him in the Whedon cut because he has so much less to do, right? Like, hey, I'm here. Hey, I can do mother box stuff. That's it, right? Like you don't get any of that kind of like who is he as a person, what is he like, what's his motivations, things like that. So you do really get that in this version, and plus, it he all he has to do is do this to money and it grows. That's pretty
Wish
cool.
I could do that.
I know, right? Can I just get a stack of money and go just have
But
money?
Those are some cool scenes, actually, right? Where we saw him like in the different worlds of whatever he was.
Well, I guess he was doing it.
I
Yeah.
question the ethics of their dad being like, "I'll fix you and I'll make you a cyber god where you can nuke the world if you wanted to." It's like that's a little overkill. Where he can hack and nuke the world if he wanted to with his powers.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's the mother box, though, right? I guess it's too crazy. Like
it's too powerful.
And, like it does everything extremes, I guess, right?
I guess so. Just doesn't know how to.
But how did he know?
Itself.
Like, how did the dad even know? Like, hey, you're gonna have all of this amazing internet power. Really?
Well, maybe he knew after the fact, right?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
He might not have known beforehand at all. I mean, obviously he was playing with. Probably he should not have been doing that. Obviously, probably right, but he wanted to save his son and he's going to do whatever he took.
Yeah, which I liked. I like that.
Yeah.
Is that your Marx? Is that what is your favorite? Is that like the Cyborg Flash stuff or other stuff?
Oh yes, the Cyborg and the Flash stuff. Again, if they had taken their time and introduced the Flash in his own movie and Cyborg in his own movie, then we would have already had that established, right? But and then we could even spend more time with Flash. But although Flash's dad really needed better fake gray hair because that looked really weird.
Well, it's the weird that it sticks out the ears, right?
Yeah. It was weird. It's fake, I'm sure. But no, I liked more information about them. That was good. I liked. I didn't mind seeing Darkseid and that they added more to Steppenwolf a little bit with his motivation. What else did I like? And of course, Martian Manhunter. And it just made a little bit more sense because there was more time to breathe to tell us the story a little bit more. Still had plot holes and it had way bad pacing issues, but there were good stuff in there. So yay! I went in expecting it was just be like a waste of time to watch almost, but it was actually had a lot of good stuff in there. Gave me better appreciation of it all.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Comics are fun with agreeing with you. I think Mark's there about Warner only wanted Marvel money. They see them getting billions, and DC was flopping like a fish out of water.
Like Aquaman out of water.
Oh yes.
Which how many times another drink game would be every time Aquaman takes his shirt off, take a drink.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, gotta go back in the ocean.
Oh yeah, gotta take this off.
Comics are fun. Will this make it to theaters or only HBO Max? Only HBO Max. They have said that. Snyder won it in theaters, but they are not doing that.
I totally would have watched this in theaters. I totally would have.
For 4 hours?
Wait.
Yeah, I would have done it.
Dude, you can't rewind to theaters when you keep falling asleep.
I would have actually been awake.
I would have seen this 7 times in theater because I kept falling asleep and I have to keep paying. They would have loved you, actually.
I think they. Well, when the usher comes in to nudge me every half hour.
We made tons of money with this Francis guy.
In the theater, and they're not going to wake you up. They don't care.
No, they're like, oh yeah, well they will when I'm like, oh, I got to watch this again because I missed so much. Here's some more money.
Right? Yeah. That's what I say. The theater will love you. You keep paying money to see the same movie.
Exactly.
Like Battle Angel Alita.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I stayed away for all of that. And
I know, but you've seen it like a bunch of
I
times in
did.
theaters.
Saw it like 10 times. It was great.
Terry says the best goosebumps scene: the Amazons versus Steppenwolf and
Hippolyta.
Hippolyta, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hippolyta's battle cry. The Amazons were boss.
That scene was much better. Like just the visual effects alone, because I remember watching it in the original version. I was like, this looks like a bad video game. Like, what is happening here? So that alone.
See, I actually thought it was awesome in the original. Like, I remember that scene. Like, it was like, oh, the Amazon. I love the Amazons. They're so kick-ass, right?
Well, I like the Amazons, but I thought the visual effects, like in that when they go down that tunnel and they're bashing it, it looks like a video game walls. You know, it didn't look, even in the new one, it looked a little off, but it looked much better than in the original.
Yeah. Well, I actually thought even the planes that they were on afterwards, when they're on the grass and stuff, I'm like, it looks a little gamey.
Yeah.
It looks like a little video gamey. But I think that's just, you know, I think because again, it was meant for IMAX. I mean, it was 4:3, the, you know, IMAX screen, right? That's what the expectation was. So maybe, you know, we're watching it on TVs or something that may not give it, you know, the impressiveness it, you know, it deserves. But I did think that some places were a little gamey, like that room that he always went into to talk to. I don't even know who the guy's name was. The guy that came out of the stone that he put the mother boxes.
Desaad.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you guys know. I couldn't.
He only said it once, so if you didn't know who it was or you missed it, you would not have known.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
I might have fallen asleep.
I like the Amazon scene a lot. It's interesting because I watched both. When I first went the Snyder version, I was like, this is definitely longer.
Yeah.
And I felt there was pacing problems with it. And then I rewatched read-ins, and I was like, oh, now this feels a little too short. So
Something in between.
Yeah, basically. So I did some of the stuff Snyder added to the Amazons I liked, but I still think overall it wasn't quite paced well enough. And in general, I think Snyder extends his scenes a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Do you think those hundreds of Amazons just stand there all day waiting for the box to do something?
Right. It's kind of, it was cool, but you're like, really?
In the Whedon version, the box, when we go to that island for that time, the box has already been opened. So it makes sense that they're all there because the box is about to do something.
Yeah.
It makes more sense, that version.
Yeah.
This one, it looks like they stand there all night.
There. They've just been like, and there's a lot of them too. There's like tons of them.
Yeah.
They're just kind of standing there like.
And I just want to go, guys, if you had guns, you might be able to defend us better. Just saying, some guns.
No guns ever for Amazons. That would ruin it.
I'm just saying. You got flying guys with laser rifles. You're gonna have a harder time.
They use their bodies and the swords of old and the weapons of old.
Their little bows and arrows.
I love Amazons, dude. I'll take Amazons all day. In the movies, they're great. But they've done a great job, I think, with them. And both Patty and Snyder, I think, have done a good job. Hey, our buddy John Paul, who's been on our show before, is here. He says it was better in Snyder's version, but Whedon's version was better overall. Oh, okay, yes. He's one of in the poll on the Dragon Con American Sci-Fi, John Paul and I are the only ones who have voted for the Whedon cut being superior so far. But I mean, there's multiple things. You can vote for Reiner's, you can say there's good and bad about both. There's multiple categories.
I think the unaired pilot for the Justice League TV show was the best.
Wait, was there such a thing? Was there
Yes.
Justice League TV show?
Yeah. Yes, back in the
action?
90s. Yeah.
Oh my God!
I gotta find that.
And there's a Green Lantern, and not Green Lantern. There's a Martian Manhunter.
There's a Martian Manhunter. There's a Green Lantern too, I believe. Yeah.
John Paul, tone of Whedon's was better, but edit them together to make the best version. Hey, John Paul, I just said this a little while ago before you were on. Probably 2.5 hours.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was saying. I think that would be the best.
I would say.
Somebody could probably do that now if they wanted to.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Where's what's his face? Oh God, the guy who did the prequel, the Star Wars prequels, and turned them into one movie.
Oh yeah, he needs
that
to work
guy.
on this. Yeah. Do the Rin cut.
Carrie thinks Snyder made the Amazon sacrifice more impactful. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get to know everyone so much better. Like you get to spend time with everyone in a way that you actually care a bit more about everyone, except for Superman.
We'll definitely let's talk about it. Comics Are Fun says every time Aquaman takes his shirt off, it validates the tattoo artist they hired to paint him up.
Wait, those aren't his actual tattoos?
Just some of them are, but not all of them. No.
I'm sure they added. Yeah.
He's got that sleeve.
Johnny says, why don't we have any intermissions anymore? He saw the 70mm version of 2001: Space Odyssey a couple years ago. There was a built-in intermission. It would be a way to sell more food. I saw a movie one time. I saw the movie Gettysburg, which is 4 hours, and there was an intermission halfway through in theaters. Yeah.
I streamed 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the intermission is built into the movie.
Yeah, well, they want to show the original way, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like, oh my God, there's a 10-minute intermission. This is awesome.
So like Crony used to say, like, there you go. There's kind of bullets because she deflects bullets, right? So it's kind of like she has.
That's true.
With Wonder Woman.
She did in that terrorist scene. She did do a really good job blocking.
Yeah, she did the crab crawl.
That part is the same, but I will say that scene is way longer in Snyder, and I think better actually. You see Wonder Woman being kicking ass a lot more.
But did she have to like incinerate the dude?
Yeah, that was a little overkill.
No,
you think about it, she's a cold-blooded killer in this one. She disintegrates that guy.
I don't like that part at all. I hate
and she
that.
cuts Steppenwolf's head off.
I hate it.
Yeah,
such a killer.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
In the original, she cuts, which is actually I think cooler. Superman freezes Steppenwolf's axe or whatever the hell it is, and she does her leap and smashes the axe with her sword and like breaks it. And I think that's awesome and like super cool. But you're right. Like, no, she's not. She shouldn't be this violent.
Does Steppenwolf die in the Whedon version?
No. His little insect minions sense fear in him, and they swarm him and take him off through the boom tube.
Okay.
Which I also prefer. Yeah, I mean, of course, right? Snyder, we know he's going to make it more violent.
And
someone has to die.
2 F-bombs at least.
Oh my God, there's so many weird F-bombs in this movie. So weird.
Well, right, because it's R versus PG-13, right? With the two versions.
I will fucking kill you. Like, okay.
Is this fucking epilogue over yet? I hope so.
You're here, Batman. Just need you right here.
Comics Fun says, great. Now DC needs a Snyder/Whedon cut. Yeah, they need like a mix cut.
They do.
I actually think that would. You're right.
That would be my favorite, actually.
Snyder.
Snyder.
The Snyder cut. Yeah, because the Weeder cut sounds terrible. But the Snyder cut.
That's just all Flash grabbing hot dogs.
John Paul, we have not got to the Superman discussion really yet. We will get to that. He says,
yeah.
David Ogden Steers as Martian Manhunter. Yeah, let's talk Martian Manhunter right now since you brought it up. Marx's favorite character, probably.
Yeah.
What did you guys?
I think he was actually Superman. He was a shapeshifter, and he actually saved the day.
But no, he would have been nicer. He would have been nicer.
Yeah, that's true.
He would have been nicer.
So,
yeah.
Did he ever hint in the earlier movies that general guy was Martian Manhunter? Or is this the first time really we're seeing that?
There was supposed to be. There's a scene in Man of Steel he wanted to add where his, when he's looking through his
eyes, you see his red eyes or something.
Right, you see the red eyes when Superman's being interrogated by Lois Lane in that one room, and apparently when it pans away and you see him, the eyes are supposed to turn red, so you knew he was the Martian Manhunter, but.
They always do that. They did that Supergirl all the time too, right? Always red eyes for you. Oh, we know it's Martian Manhunter. And
they cut it. Yeah, they removed that scene. So I'm like, oh. Yeah.
So did you like so there's two scenes, right? The Lois Lane scene where he's pretending to be Martha.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew you were going to do that. And then the ends near the end when he meets Batman, right? Did you guys like both of those?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't?
You didn't like either of them?
I like the last one. I like the second part. I like when he meets Batman. Yeah, but I feel like, and I thought I was crazy for thinking this, and I saw some other reviews that kind of said the same thing. It's like, well, they had a heart-to-heart. Martha and Lois have a heart-to-heart that now means nothing because Lois is going to go up to Martha one day and be like, oh, that heart-to-heart we just had, a few hours ago. She's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, it's so we had to sell the farm. Oh, like all this stuff. Like, oh man, it kind of took away from what could have been a meaningful connection between Martha and Lois.
That's the problem when you do that, right?
He telepathically put that experience in Martha's head, so she thought she did it. So yeah,
I guess. But and the motivation was weird. It's like, we need you, Lois. For what?
Like, we need her to report on Superman.
You need to report things. You got to report stuff.
We need her to spell bad.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. There is no real motivation for Martian Manhunter to do that. So it's kind of silly.
Carrie says the first Martian Manhunter scene undercuts the emotional scene.
Yeah.
I did like it with Batman though. I thought that was kind of cool, right? He's talking.
I thought it was great. Yeah. Just as like an intro. I wish Batman was like, what?
I actually kind of like how he just walked out. It was kind of like, yeah, right. Who the hell are you? What's going on?
I want that house. That's all I care about.
Yeah,
I want that house.
I still miss the caves, though, man, in the mansion.
Where is that? So where is his Batcave?
Is that the mansion he walks into at the end, or some other place where he wants to set up the table with the Justice League?
That's the mansion.
That's the mansion, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
It isn't?
I was assuming it was, but I'm
in
not
the
sure.
the original cut, when it just totally destroyed, the whole building was just
actually that is actually the same in both cuts.
So it was totally destroyed, right?
Well, I mean, the scene I'm talking about where he walks in and it says big round table, 6 chairs. That's the same. That scene. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought there was another scene where they just showed it falling like to pieces or something before then. Oh, I guess I'm. It's been a long
scene was
time.
the Hall of Justice. Yes, I really like that. And Wonder Woman says room for more. I love that.
Yeah.
By the way, Necrotis mentions, I think one of you guys did before, right? About that music, every single scene with Wonder Woman in the Snyder cut that is used heavily. Yes. It is not used in the original.
No.
Let's see here. 4-hour movies are why you get when you don't take the time for solo movies first.
But you know what? That's okay because Infinity War was all about Thanos. They built his character up. They built the villain up for a whole movie. So they're building up these two characters, which I thought was fine. Like I thought that it worked. I mean, we kind of know who Batman is. I guess Batman doesn't necessarily need his own solo movie to know who Batman is. I guess you can be okay with that.
I thought you said Thanos when you were saying. Never mind.
No, I said, but Infinity War, Thanos,
Marvel.
yeah, they had a whole Infinity War had Thanos as a whole movie, right? But yeah, in this one with Cyborg and Flash, that's fine. Like I feel like that actually really works, building up those two characters because it does somehow connect with the mother boxes and things like that. So.
I think it would have been better though, like at least have Flash first, and then because it was really Cyborg's story. He's the one that's most connected to everything. He loses his dad. He's got the mother box. It's how he got powers. He's the one that's really tied into all this. And if Flash could have had his own movie, we wouldn't have had to do quite as much introduction. You didn't really need to do some of the intros for the other characters. Like we didn't need to see Wonder Woman beat up Terrace. We already know what she can do. She was in other stuff. So.
Yeah, but I think it was to kind of offset, like, hey, what have you been doing this entire time, Wonder Woman? Oh, I've been saving people. Because I know that in the Whedon cut, Batman was like, you haven't done anything for 100 years.
I want to talk about that. Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, 84 hasn't been made yet, so I guess I haven't really been.
But even in 84, she's been keeping the low profile, right?
She was keeping low key, from what I understand. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. You haven't seen it yet. Still, that is what they. Anyway, Comics Are Fun says release the Snyder cut. Excuse me.
Yes.
Snyder cut. Yeah.
Snyder cut.
Let's get that
Release the
hashtag.
Snyder cut.
Let's see here. John Paul. The Snyder's entire goal was to put certain things in, like Martian Manhunter, and it didn't matter if it made sense.
I can see. Yeah, there's some scenes like that. Yeah.
Carrie, the other thing that bugs me about Martian Manhunter in the Snyderverse, why would he not help fight Doomsday in Batman v Supes?
Because he was too busy making sure Lois Lane worked.
Right.
Well, I thought, didn't he kind of? Well, did he explain it in that brief scene afterwards? Like, well, I guess I can't stay in the shadows forever. I thought he said something to that effect. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but I thought he mentioned like
Batman.
Yeah, like I have been hiding this entire time.
Because Doomsday wasn't enough of a threat. He's not very powerful.
Oh, you have Superman. It's cool. You got Superman. It's all good. And you have an Amazonian. Like, what do you need me for? I just slow you down.
So Doomsday, Steppenwolf. Oh, he doesn't need this. I guess he's waiting for Darkseid. I guess right. That's when he's gonna finally do something.
That's worth his because he's so awesome. Martian Manhunter is quite awesome.
Yeah.
Oh no, he is actually. I agree with you.
Darkseid's the real challenge. Yeah.
The Cyber could have been left out. He's a Titan, not a Leaguer.
Yeah, that has always bugged me about like ever since New 52 they integrated Cyborg into the Justice League origin. And it's always bugged me because he is a Titans character. He works best that way. I don't like him being in Justice League, at least not in the beginning like that.
I'll say though, I really liked his character in this, particularly in this version, the Snyder cut. And I think, by the way, Ray Fisher is awesome, man. Like he does a great job.
It's unfortunate,
particularly when he had to go reshoot all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
But he's still awesome, right? Like he's still doing a super professional job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Let's see here. When that little girl asked Wonder Woman if she could be like her when she grew up, I half expected Wonder Woman to say, "Only if you wish." Wonder Woman 84.
Because if you, I get it. right? Because she made wishes, and there was all about wishes in that movie, right?
Oh, and Wonder Woman
Yeah.
84. Right. The Wish Stone. I've already blocked that out, I guess.
I haven't even seen the movie, and I knew that.
Yeah, but lucky you.
I guess I don't have that trauma.
Life is good, but it could be better.
Martian Manhunter is only the heart of the Justice League. That's all. Nothing important, right? But you're right, JP. He is the heart.
Yeah.
So
that's
you're right.
true.
He should be a key
In
part.
some
but they never-
versions, he is a founder, and I think he
like in the
makes
animated
Well-
series, right? I think he's super important in that.
Yeah.
I almost feel. I mean, again, this is him going back and kind of making the corrections he wanted to make. I kind of feel like he would have done it if he was able to make the Justice League movie he wanted to make in the beginning, right? Like, I think he would have made Manhunter. Well, maybe not, because he
I don't
wanted
think-
to
I don't think he would have made
concentrate.
this one.
It
Maybe
would have
the
been a
second one.
6-hour movie.
Probably the second one. He would have had him more in.
Because and now everyone is saying, "Oh, Unite the Seven makes so much more sense with the Snyder cut." Because in the Whedon cut, there was only 6 of them the entire time, and there was no 7th person. Like, who's the 7th guy? Like, I don't understand. Unite the Seven, that doesn't make any sense. Snyder cut now makes sense because that's Martian Manhunter.
But they didn't really. He wasn't united with them. I think.
Well-
It should be in the main fight, not like afterwards. Like, hey, I'm at the party late, but I'm here, guys. We're united.
How great would it have been if it's like, okay, Martian, you get one horn, I'll get the other. We'll cut them off at the same time.
Ah.
Gross. Scorpion says that he likes Cyborg better in Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Oh
he's good in
yeah,
Doom
yeah.
Patrol.
I hear that's really good. Yeah.
Comics are fun says, hey, I'm always up for Booster Gold, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Booster Gold's the best.
They've been awesome.
And,
Him and Blue Beetle are great together too.
they are. All right. I want to talk at least a little bit because I do love the theatrical version, or certain parts of it in particular. So there's a couple scenes in particular, and this is why I still think still like that version the best. That when I rewatched it, I realized, yes, these are the scenes that stuck the most with me, and like I was riveted. And to me, I'm sure they didn't work for everyone, but to me, they really worked. And one of them was when there's a scene in, like, I don't know, his Batcave. I guess it is the Batcave.
It is the Batcave, yeah.
Yeah, it's still the Batcave.
It's a Batcave.
But yeah, there's more of a debate. There's a little bit of one still here, right? But there's more of a debate about should they resurrect Superman. And in the Whedon version, Wonder Woman is totally against it. And her and Batman go at it and arguing, right? And he talks to her like, "Oh, did Steve Trevor tell you that?" Right? And he brings that up, and she like shoves him like back against the thing. But I think that for me, like that really worked. That like that thing between them and him pushing her to like. Because you find out later, he's pushing her to be the leader. Like she should be the leader of this group, really, not him. That's what he's trying to do, and get her to step up. And I think it puts the focus more on Wonder Woman as a character and as a leader in that version that Snyder Cut loses. So I love that scene. It was dynamic. And then later on, she helps him, like when Superman beats the shit out of him, she helps him put his arm back into, like, get it back into the socket and stuff. And they have a little bit more of a heart to heart. And he apologizes, but she says, like, "You're right. Like, I haven't been leading. I've been reacting." And I don't know, for me, I guess like that added a lot to her character in between them. And like that just worked for me. And both those scenes I've always remembered, like, yeah, man, that's good shit, man. Like, I like those character dynamics and adding stuff. And that was all lost in this version, which I knew it would be. But I don't know, like that's what I missed the most.
Yeah, I guess they don't interact. It's funny. Do they really have those types of interactions in the Snyder Cut? I don't really feel they do, despite it being a longer movie. It's more of like, hey, I need to tell more story. I need more exposition. So let me give you some more exposition. And then they move on to the next scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a lot of that kind of interaction or that turmoil, or even
Not with Wonder Woman and Batman, I don't think, no.
But not even with any of the other characters, really. Like, I think of Aquaman, and Aquaman is really underserved in this movie, in the sense of, like, he just takes off his shirt every once in a while and goes to the ocean, right? Or
I actually
talks.
think he's better served than the original version.
I think so too. Even though they do have that funny little lasso of truth thing.
But that's another thing I loved in the original, man. It's so funny. I just love it.
But again, that gives some more humanity to these characters that I don't really feel the Snyder Cut does, which is why I called it a
that's what I'm
cardboard
missing.
cutout of all the characters, right?
That's
They're
what
all
I'm missing
cardboard
from the
cutouts.
original. By the way, I think Aquaman in Whedon's version fits better with Aquaman the movie, where he's fun.
Yeah,
And he's too serious in the Snyder Cut. It doesn't jive, I feel.
he's angry
with this Aquaman movie.
All the time.
all the time.
Takes his shirt off all the time.
Because he's so angry. He rips his shirt off.
Yeah.
Aquaman, why are you taking your shirt off all the time?
So some woman can see the sun and sniff it.
Yeah. Oh, so you can, okay. All right. It's nice, I guess. Hi.
Is that your Mara impersonation?
That's my Mara. Oh my god.
Can we talk about that? I'm going to talk about the Aquaman stuff now.
Okay.
Why? So ridiculous. Mara is like British in this one, and she's not. She's like American sounding in Aquaman. And why do they talk like fucking fish in this one? like they're all like dolphin sounding or fish sounding underwater, right?
Oh yeah.
It's so ridiculous when you think about the Aquaman movie. I know they hadn't done that yet, right? But it's like, oh, it's such a weird choice.
Well, Aquaman. It's funny because Aquaman did several things differently. I don't think did Mara have the accent in the Whedon cut?
Does she even talk?
Yes, she does.
She does have the accent.
She's not in as much, but she does.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because they get rid of the accent in the Aquaman movie. They get rid of the bubble, the air bubbles thing.
She still does that,
but not in Aquaman. They talk
in the Aquaman movie. They could talk underwater, but she occasionally does the bubble still.
Yeah, but here, every time they want to talk, they have to open the bubble.
Because they sound like fish. Otherwise, we don't know what they're saying if they're not in the bubble.
That's what
why
subtitles are for. Come on.
That's true, I guess. Maybe. But and Willem, like, it was so weird to see Willem Dafoe here in this movie. Like, wow, here's Willem Dafoe just being kind of weird, I didn't know if it was purpose. Like, what was your point? You must eventually take up your mantle as king.
Just to tie in with Aquaman.
It was really Martian Manhunter all the time.
Everybody's Martian
character. It's Martian Manhunter.
Oh, he was also Mara. He didn't get her accent quite right. That was the problem.
Yeah. It's tough being a shapeshifter.
And here's the funny thing too: is like the reshoot of the nightmare scene. She's there and she keeps the voice. She keeps the accent.
The British accent, right?
The British accent. Yeah.
Bastard.
Remember, Aquaman hadn't been made yet at this point. So.
No, but. Oh, I see what you mean.
But when he reshot it, you're saying, right?
Yeah, when he reshot it, they could have easily had her just talk.
But he didn't reshoot. He didn't shoot new scenes of people. I don't believe.
They did for the nightmare scene.
Some stuff he did.
Oh, they did for the nightmare scene? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what scenes, but he did reshoot some new stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. Something sounded like David Copperfield, he said. Please, sir, may I have another?
Yeah.
Or the British stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that's all Mara.
All right, well, thank you to Cronius for watching. Yes, please come back and watch the rest.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Jalou, in what comic in what past iteration was Wonder Woman the leader of the Justice League any before 2000? Has she ever been?
No.
And if not, why not? Because that's ridiculous.
Well, because Superman was always there.
Well, no, sorry. Wonder Woman's better than Superman, in my opinion. So,
that's
screw Superman. I like Superman. All right. I don't like just Snyder cut Superman, but
yeah. Well, But Wonder Woman has never led. She's never led anyone but the Amazons.
Tell us in the chat, folks, if you know, because you probably.
Captain Adam's been leader, right? At least Justice League International. Who else has been leader?
She's the leader of Justice League Themyscira edition.
Yeah.
Which I would totally watch that, by the way. All Amazon version of the Justice League.
Yeah, they're I felt
I don't know where you're
well,
going.
I was thinking I felt like there was talk about doing an Amazonian spinoff or something, but I could be wrong.
I'm there.
That'd be cool.
I am there. Yeah. HBO Max has so much they could mine, right? And with this stuff. They
the potential.
Yeah.
Oh,
Black Canary has led it. Paul Johnson.
they went past the super powered Amazonian and went straight to the human.
She's a better martial artist.
She's a good choice. Yeah, she's one of the top martial artists in the whole universe.
Yeah,
she knows all of the martial arts. So
all of the martial arts.
All of them.
I mean, Richard Dragon can technically show up in the DC in Snyder's Justice League too. I hear you know all the martial arts.
I know them all.
That's right.
I'm after you. Did you guys like what did you think about so first off, is IMAX actually 4:3? Is that really what it's made for?
Some are.
I thought IMAX was not as wide as a typical screen, but still wider than 4:3. I thought. I don't know though, really.
Well,
I've seen very few IMAX movies.
The one, there's this. So I saw 300 in IMAX, and I feel like I told the story, but It was one of the very first IMAX. It was originally for like the.
Wait, is this the sex scene? Is this what your story?
No,
is?
no, no. I mean, the sex. It's really weird to see the sex scene in IMAX, but, it was originally meant for like nature documentaries. This IMAX screen, and so they fashioned it for 300, and I walked in the theater, and the seats weren't stadium. They kind of were steep. So if you weren't in the back or in the middle, you saw nothing. And the screen was so tall versus wide that I was like, oh my goodness, like everything was just so tall. So I'm thinking some IMAX screens are that tall.
How was your fun saying it's 4.3 Dolby Atmos?
No, Dolby Atmos is 16:9 or whatever. It's widescreen.
Is it?
Because my local AMC, I used to watch only Dolby Atmos on there.
I think he's saying IMAX is 4.3 though, so I think is what.
I think IMAX really is 4.3 because my only memory of it is 300 in this gigantic, just like, wow.
Okay.
Oh man,
So,
Cersei's boobs are huge.
I am not a fan of 4.3. These boobs. Oh, okay. Nice.
I said the boobs are huge.
I'm not. When I saw the trailer for Snyder Cut and it was in 4.3, I honestly thought I was watching some bootleg version. I was on the wrong site, so I searched it and I was like, "Oh no, I got the right site. It is actually done in 4.3. What the hell's going on?" And I guess it's because it was for IMAX, right? Is his vision, I guess. Well, he also said, I think he likes the idea of the superhero, like they're tall, right? The way you can project them being taller and stuff. I mean, it was fine because I knew it was going to be that way, but dude, I always prefer like 69 or 1.85 to 1 or 2.351, whatever.
He's trying for a comic book page. Look, that's what it is.
That makes sense too. Yeah.
I
wouldn't be surprised.
I compared the that that one of those last shots where after they defeat Steppenwolf and it shows all 6 heroes, right?
Oh yeah, where they're standing on top of
the shot in 16:9 is so much better, I feel, than the 4.3 version of that. So I don't feel it really does help a superhero movie to do it in 4.3 to me. I don't know, maybe just because I don't know. I just don't like it because I also hate it when they used to always pan and scan all the movies and make them in 4.3 for VHS, right, and stuff. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, they did a compare. I saw a video of a comparison between what it looked like on 16:9 and 4:3, and in the 4:3 they have so much headroom in the 4:3, while in 16:9 they just had that little less headroom. So there's just so much space above their heads. It's weird.
Oh, John Paul says it has multiple ratios, but Smithsonian is 4.3.
Yeah, there you go. So he wanted to show it at the Smithsonian.
Yeah, this should be a history, right?
If it wasn't for the pandemic, it would have happened.
Look, I know we kind of joke. I mean, this is kind of a weird. I mean, this is a phenomenon technically in cinema because who's done this, right? Like, who's gone back and made their movie in this way, right? Not many people.
Yep. I want Suicide Squad recut.
Well, they keep talking about the Ayer
Ayer's
cut
cut,
for the Ayer cut, yeah.
Want
So
that?
who cut?
The Ayer cut, David Ayer cut for Suicide Squad.
Is he the director?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Seems like there's some kind of
So
Suicide
Jalou
Squad.
says, if you could write your own plot for Justice League, what would your elevator pitch for it be?
Buy
Thank you for
comics
watching,
are
man.
fun.
Appreciate it. Thank you for all your thoughts.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I guess is there anything like what kind of a Justice League movie, I guess, would you guys have wanted to see if it could have been anything?
No big bad and just the forming of the Justice League. You didn't have to have a big bad. You could have just reformed the Justice League. Just form it.
They got to fight for some reason.
There's got to be something though, right? That they're opposing.
Well,
why
okay,
they
so
came together.
they're fighting, but they don't have to fight like the biggest bad at like a Steppenwolf or a Darkseid. They could have,
In the original one, they fought those aliens, the ones that like possess elements or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, or like it could have been, hey, we're fighting just parademons or something, and here's the main parademon, or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, they could have just made it so it wasn't where we didn't have to care about the villain; we just had to care about them getting together. I think would have been.
Or if they wanted to carry over from like Batman v Superman, do you think it would have worked if they made Lex Luthor the main villain?
Easily, yeah, sure.
And they're like,
I mean, Lex Luthor Senior for
Marx
let's.
think so.
Well, no,
I don't like this version of Lex Luthor. I don't think the actor's very good.
Pretend it was a version you liked. Would it have worked if it was a cool version?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. You're right. That last scene. No, I like to see. Here's the thing: because of how bad the joke was in the Whedon cut of
I like that better.
where it's such
Maybe
a
we should form a league of our own. I like that.
Yeah,
because it's Legion
and
of
it's like-
Doom is what it's referencing.
yeah, but I mean, it's like we'll get Rosie O'Donnell and we'll get
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, like
We'll get Madonna.
We'll get Madonna.
Like Shorts play third base.
We'll have a league of our own.
Play third base.
It's like
Slade is played by Tom Hanks now.
exactly.
John Paul says, get Bruce Timm to make it. I agree with John Paul. Justice League animated series of the early 2000s is one of my all-time favorite shows. It's great. They do exactly right.
Yeah, I would pull stories from that comic book universe. Or
because they did great. They even did a 3-part Thanagarian story in that was like a whole movie basically. That was fantastic.
That was a good one.
I don't know why. Well, again, Snyder had a very specific vision. Snyder had a very specific vision. He wanted his characters to be flawed and killers.
Well, flawed characters is usually a good thing. That's good, right? That the character has to work through something. Being a killer does not necessarily have to be.
He makes them a little too flawed.
Everyone's a killer. Everyone was a killer.
Yeah.
Except for Cyborg
Flash,
and Flash.
Well, Flash would, but it would hurt him to punch somebody that fast.
Right. He's
got hurt too
avoid
much.
conflict. Oh, I also like that. I actually liked in the Whedon one where, I don't know if you guys remember, but when they're trying to rescue like his father or Cyborg's father and the other people, Flash is actually scared. He says like, I've never been in a real battle. I've only like pushed people out of the way.
Yeah.
And Batman's like, just save one. Like just save one person. And I actually kind of like that like, and that's missing from that. Like you showed kind of like Flash was totally green, right? He didn't know what to do. And Batman kind of had to give him a little pep talk.
You can tell Whedon's trying to humanize these characters, right? And he succeeds. He also maybe flounders a little bit at parts, like the opening. That's the one with the opening shot of Superman talking on a camera, right?
I like that. Though.
I have mixed feelings about it. I think it needed. When people do that, I feel like it needs to pay off somewhere, like a bookend of it or something. That's what bugged me about it.
I like what he was trying to do, though.
Yeah, I did like what he was trying to do, and then it didn't work quite as well. But I get what he was trying to do. Like whenever they're fighting in the city and everything, there's nobody around. We don't know if people are getting hurt or whatever. And in Whedon's version, we see that family trying to escape from this terraforming and stuff.
Right.
So you can tell in Whedon's version, he's really trying to humanize them, really trying to show that they're trying to be heroes. I mean, it's one thing to be like, Punisher is technically, a hero.
He's an
or
anti-hero. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, but Punisher's not even a good example because he would try to save innocent people, but a hero worries about the people around them too, and not just killing the bad guy, and Snyder loses that with these characters. They're just like kill, and people die around us. Oh well.
Well, I think in with Snyder, he's thinking, well, I'm saving the world, like I'm saving everyone. Isn't that enough?
But I agree with you, Marx. As viewers, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Right. I think so. That's why I think I still definitely like the Whedon version better because he does do that humanization, and I agree it doesn't probably always work quite as well as he tried to. Again, it's also tough when you come in with a movie that's already mostly done right.
Yeah.
But I think some stuff I think he very much succeeded. But I'd like that he tried to do that and it made the movie better overall for me.
I think so too, because that was missing. I mean, that's a big gripe for Man of Steel, right? Because they just smash Metropolis to pieces, and there's no Superman never shows concern about anybody, and and that's so anti-Superman, and I think that's why they probably asked Whedon to kind of course correct on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
make Superman smile.
It's also, go ahead, sorry, Francis. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying not to jump too far ahead, but that's why it's so terrible that Snyder's idea for Superman already was, hey, my goal is to make him evil, right? Like that's what I need to make him is this bad guy. It's like, why? You haven't even given him a chance to be a good guy yet. Like he hasn't even had a chance to be a hero yet.
He wants him to be like the bad guy in that nightmare version, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's
think
supposed
it's
to lead
more
up to.
powerful if you show him be a really good guy and then show him be it's more powerful to show that turn rather than he's already kind of that way anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, I'm already willing to kill anyone. Like it doesn't matter who it is.
I don't care.
I'm ready to do it.
Because it's not a heroic thing. If you are so much more powerful than your enemy that can't hurt you, it isn't heroic to beat him down and kill him. That's anybody can do that. Bad guys do that, so it doesn't look good when that happens. It also is kind of it's also kind of a cheat in a way, because it's like Superman's here, we're saved, yay, we're all done. It's like, so nobody can face up against Superman at all.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, in the Whedon version, it felt like that, but I think in the Snyder version, everyone was able to hold their own against Steppenwolf. And the last battle.
No, honestly, I actually think it's worse in this version.
Well, I'm not saying it's like, I'm just saying,
No, I think actually it shows that they do a better job standing up in the Whedon version, I think.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
I know. Hang on, let me see what John Paul says here. Things we don't like about Whedon's version is due to him being handicapped by Snyder's story footage and only 6 months to do something. Yeah, but good point.
Yeah.
John Paul, I think for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if Whedon was on board from the beginning, I think it would have been
very different movie.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh my God. I almost would just be like, if I were a billionaire, like, here, I'd love to see your version from beginning to end. What your version of Justice League would have been. Like if you had full reins on everything.
Let's just
like,
do a million cuts this movie. It'll never end.
Well,
every year there's a new cut.
This is like, hey, this is the Blade Runner of the 21st century, okay?
Oh shit! Hey, there you go.
There you go.
I wonder what David Lynch from Twin Peaks would do with Justice League.
I wonder what Kevin Smith would do.
Tarantino. How about...
Oh no.
You guys, I'll be right back in a second. Do you guys want to? Why don't you guys maybe start talking about Darkseid, Decide, all that stuff, because that's a big difference in this one. All right.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
So what did you think? Well, okay. Did Darkseid at all seem menacing, especially after you could, they pretty much were able to nearly kill him in the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, that's pretty bad, right? I don't know if they did. I looked at Julie and was like, I don't know if having your big bad pop in and have him almost get killed really makes him intimidating, I mean, supposedly, I think that is a weaker version of Darkseid before he gets like some power upgrades and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no one know that, as just watching it. But yeah, it was kind of weird that they chose to do that. Probably not the best idea. That'd be like Thanos going, like we rewind and Thanos gets beat up by, I can't think of Thor beat him up, but now he's coming back. Oh, another thing too is they're like, oh, it was the lost planet. And I'm like, dude, you were there.
You left 3 mother boxes there. You should know.
Did that axe give you amnesia or something? I mean, you're getting in a spaceship. Is there not like a navigational system? Or I mean, what's going on here? How did you lose this planet? You need to explain that. Otherwise, you just look stupid.
I guess if it wasn't if they didn't call it the Lost Planet and just said, I don't know where the anti-life equation is.
But he knew it was Earth because he found it. Because remember, I grabbed the Earth and then I smash it, and then it shows that, which is hilarious when he did that. I looked at Julie and go, "Wow, he really hates dirt."
He really did. Yeah, no, I think I'm glad they kind of introduced him because he's supposed to be the biggest bad of all of kind of. Isn't he kind of the? Yeah, he's like the Thanos of the DC universe.
He really is. Yeah, maybe even more than Thanos in a way.
Well, yeah, his Omega beams are supposed to be like devastating and terrifying.
Yeah,
but did they even use it?
Well, that's the thing. I think at this point he didn't have that Omega beams yet. So, I mean, you wouldn't know that, right? There's no way to know that. You don't even know if you don't know anything about Darkseid. You wouldn't know what Omega beams were. You would just see in that flash forward. You would saw him use it at one time, and that's it.
Well, speaking of things you didn't know, I actually read this right just before we started. Was Snyder did an interview and said, "Oh, you know the scene where Superman hugs Lois? Well, the reason why he turned is because he could feel the baby inside her because she was pregnant." And I'm like, how are we supposed to know this? I know they show a scene with the pregnancy test, like for a second, but I would never have connected.
He tweaked the CGI, so like in that final scene of the farmhouse when Lois and Martha are carrying in boxes, she's not carrying a box now; she's carrying a baby.
I missed that. I didn't notice.
It would be hard to catch, but yeah, wow. She's pregnant.
Wow, this is like anyway, but
there's too many. You got to think when you create especially a movie. Mm-hmm. You get TV, you can get away with a little bit more, but a movie, you need to really think about, like, when the audience leaves this movie, when they watch this, did they understand everything that was important, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think he assumes too much sometimes. He assumes first you're a diehard fan, and you're gonna assume stuff because there's certain things you would never know unless you knew DC Comics, mm-hmm. and which is not a good, you're reaching to a broader audience here, Mm-hmm. But then there's that stuff, like you said, with the baby. It's like there's no way anybody's going to know that, and it's kind of important in a way. Although it's kind of weird too. It's like, so you didn't love her, you just like, hey, you're going to have my baby now, so now I'm going to be good. I mean, it's kind of weird.
What's that? Which baby?
So I was telling Marx that I right before we started, I had, well, not right before, but earlier today I saw this tweet where Snyder did an interview and said, "Oh, you know that scene when Superman remembers who he is when he's holding Lois? It's because he could hear the baby inside her, and so he knew she was pregnant, and that's what snapped him out of it." Mm-hmm. And I was telling Marx, like, how are we supposed to know that? Like, there's no way we could have known that.
Well, that's just like it. If you snuck in like a little close up on his ear and you did a little heartbeat,
or something like that, that would have been awesome if they did a little bit like that. But apparently, you're just supposed to know based on his look, like the way his face.
He might have just meant it was. Oh, really? He might have just meant that was more for like a directing, acting standpoint. That's what he told him.
But
to do. No, but not sometimes it's not necessarily what the audience should know. It's just for like what the actor needs to know for how they portray the scene.
But then as an audience member, we still don't know why he went and figured out who he was.
Well, I always just thought it was because of Lois, right? Lois finally just triggered him in some way because he loves her.
But that wasn't, but Snyder said it's the baby. Apparently it's the baby.
It's not babies, Jeff.
Yeah. My baby.
Baby. You got my baby.
I take a boom tube to Apocalypse is where I go when I go in that door.
So we were
is
just
that
saying,
what we call it? The boom.
Yes. I go boom boom. John Paul says the final Dark Side scene of Apocalypse was great, but the first one was just some big guy growling a lot.
Yeah.
Did you guys? So wait, Sorry, I missed it. Overall, did you like Dark Side?
No, we thought it was funny that that the big bad was like nearly killed at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, in the flashback scene.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was. You're right. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because he looks like he can easily be taken out.
Yeah. Obviously, they needed Ares' axe.
I didn't realize that was Ares until I read an article online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the guy shooting the lightning bolts wasn't Hercules, who I thought it was because he looks like Hercules.
It was Zeus. It's the god. It was the gods.
I was like, what? That's your daddy.
So, I mean, part of it I was like, well, if you've got like the gods, right, and all these amazing heroes, but maybe that's why. But still, like, he's defeated pretty easily, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in the original version, Steppenwolf is actually not really defeated. I mean, he's sort of defeated, but his minions actually have to pull him back from the fight because they think he's going to lose. He doesn't get like basically almost dead, like Darkseid.
He's not
profusely
bleeding from the neck.
So badly that he forgot. He got amnesia and couldn't remember where that plant was.
That's the article I read said, like, why does it give him amnesia?
It's like after I got my ass kicked, I was just like, what planet was that? I don't remember. And I destroyed thousands.
Let's just erase that from our history and Apocalypse here, folks. That didn't happen. I mean, it's a cool scene, I guess, right? From a battle standpoint, and we get to see Kilowog, right? Even though he dies, that sucks.
It's not Kilowog, no.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Is it his race? I thought it was him. I thought somebody said it was him.
It's not Kilowog.
It's some other green. It's some other. Oh, Kilowog looks different. You're right.
I can't remember his name, but no, it's not him.
I'm thinking you're right. I'm thinking that's a different Kilowog. I know what he looks like now.
Kilowog wouldn't get killed.
All right, good.
Cool.
Good. Glad to hear it.
That's true.
I was a little confused there. Like the people from the stars, there was just one alien.
One guy.
Right? I know. I kept looking. Like, are there other Green Lanterns? Is there like some Martian
or like a Kryptonian, right? Like that somehow made it there earlier. It's like
something.
no.
I'm like, who are these people from stars? What's going on here?
and then the Green Lantern, all he did was shoot out a green beam. I'm like, where's your powers? Where's your creativity? You're just throwing a beam.
Imagination. That's why I died.
Yeah, the ring almost went to Darkseid for a second there. It looked like he just hovered in front of Darkseid, like, oh. It's like, oh, maybe
that.
Well, yeah, because it didn't go anywhere until Darkseid killed somebody else and then it flew away. But
yeah, somebody stopped him getting a shot with an arrow before he can grab it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I think it's probably supposed to be Artemis. I'm guessing.
I think
the Greek
so.
gods, because she was the hunter.
Well, the arrow that they shot for the warning thing, that was one of her arrows. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great tie-in.
Yeah,
I love it. And I actually like those gods in that scene, that battle scene. They were cool.
Yeah.
That's what I told Julia. I was like, they kind of missed a potential, opportunity in a way, because you had man or humans, you had the Amazons, Atlanteans, aliens, blah blah blah, all there. It's like they kind of had all that, but they really needed one person. I know technically Wonder Woman represents both Amazonians and gods, but it would be nice to have like Shazam, who's just there to represent the gods, and then in this kind of nice symmetry of history repeating itself in a way.
Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah.
Johnny says he did get killed in the Nightmare version where Superman is holding the cowl.
So like his cape.
Batman, does he mean?
I think he means Darkseid.
Oh, Darkseid. Oh, he does have a cape, I guess. Does he have a cape in this one?
I don't know.
He
has his armor. He has his armor, but I think
he had Batman's cowl.
Oh, he has Batman's cowl, right?
It was not the Nightmare,
the earlier one, right?
Yeah, not the epilogue. It was the flash forward where Cyborg's like, no, and he's like, what? Go? And he had that flash forward. What might be going to happen?
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Batman's like in chains, right? And Superman comes.
Is it just me, or was it really weird for Batman to be like Bruce Wayne when I had a dream, a vision, that just everything went bad, and Flash showed up and said it's all about Lois, save Lois or something. I'm like, why? What? Why did they not show that scene, or why they? That was so weird.
Well, that was from Batman v Superman, wasn't it?
Was it
that scene? Yeah, the scene where he falls asleep for the first. So the first nightmare sequence is from Batman v Superman, where he falls asleep,
yes.
and then he wakes up to the Flash going, because the Flash is wearing the same outfit in the second nightmare scene. Right. He even has the same goatee and weird facial hair. But yeah, so that was from Batman v Superman.
Oh, I thought that was in the Justice League movie. I guess they're blurring them together.
Yeah, it's easy for that. By the way, Johnny says Kilowog is actually on the ground in that scene.
Oh, below him.
Is he really?
I knew there was more. I thought there were more than one Green Lantern there. I remember seeing more than one. Yeah.
Oh, I have to look again.
Yeah.
Have to do like
of all the scenes that need to be slow-mo, apparently that one for me need to be slow-mo.
I know. Just need to grab like a still image online. I don't know if you guys talked the Sod at all. I do think actually the Sod like looked and sounded like really cool.
Yeah.
So I saw the after credit scene of the first Avengers movie recently, where they showed Thanos for the first time, and I think the Sod looks like the minion of Thanos from that movie. I think they look exactly the same. It could be me, but they have the kind of same facial structure and the weird hood over their face and everything. It could just be me, but the Sod was cool. I don't know. I don't even know what his purpose is. The Sod is is he second in command?
He's kind of like his right hand man, right?
Okay.
Kind of in a way.
His head scientist or whatever you want to call him.
Okay.
Science god or whatever you want to call him. And they had Granny Goodness, which was
I saw Granny Goodness in the background.
That was cool. Yeah.
Do you? Well, since we're talking villains, let's talk Steppenwolf. I feel very kind of different versions of Steppenwolf in each version, Snyder Cut versus the Whedon's. I actually prefer him in the Whedon one, which I guess may be different than a lot of people. So it sounds like, Mark, you said I think you liked the look of him better in this one, right?
I think so.
For some reason I didn't. I guess maybe just because the constant rippling of his armor, I just didn't.
I like that effect, actually.
Yeah. Well, no, I get it. Yeah. I don't know.
It was a nice touch whenever he saw Darkseid and he like exposed himself, like he bowed and exposed his armor. But that was a nice
He
touch
exposed
too.
himself.
He did.
He got a big boner, whatever Darkseid.
Which is a good way of showing, like, you know, putting your defenses down and stuff. So I did like that in a way. I can't remember what he looked like anymore, except because in the original one.
In the original, yeah, he basically had like he was almost like he was wearing just like more like medieval type armor in a way. I felt.
Yeah. No, I like the Steppenwolf's like kind of like cartoony eyes in the Snyder cut.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't really notice that.
He looked like there was a scene I remember where he was like
He does have tender eyes.
he has like he looked like a little puppy. You know, looking up at the camera.
Slow-mo scenes of him looking at the camera with some nice romantic music going.
It
was weird. Like he looked like a little, like he looked so much more. He didn't look as menacing sometimes. He just looked
that's the thing. I think Steppenwolf is way because John Paul's mentioning Thanos again, which I'll show that in a minute. He's way more badass in the original. I feel because in the original, he mentions Darkseid once, but we don't see him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like this super badass, right? That's the world destroyer or whatever. And he's made to be that because they cut out all the Darkseid stuff. But in this one, I feel like he's just kind of like Darkseid's mama's boy, right? Kind of like he just wants to please him. And he doesn't really seem that as tough to me in this version.
He's his uncle, I think. But yeah, he's trying to please
Darkseid's his uncle? Is that how it is?
I think Steppenwolf is his uncle. Right? Or
I thought it was the other way around.
Darkseid's uncle?
Maybe it's the other way around.
Should be the other way
around. It's the other way around, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Steppenwolf in this version doesn't even have as much to do, right? Like he doesn't fight as much. He doesn't really. He just mostly like my parademons can smell where the boxes are, and they're doing all the work, and I'm just kind of sitting here waiting.
He keeps telling Desaad that, yes.
Yeah. It's like, don't worry about it. I got it covered.
Steppenwolf is the uncle?
Oh, he is the uncle.
Okay, I'm
that's
right
insanity.
Oh, wow, I didn't think that. So he's older than Darkseid?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yes, yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But it's not a character that I know super well. Calabac is his son, and
who is?
Okay.
Calabac is a copy of Darkseid, so other similarities make sense.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how comic book works. I mean, we know the world is like it's a lot of similarities.
Did you say Kilowog is his son?
Calabac.
No.
Calabac. Okay, I was like, what? Jeez.
Oh, that's crazy. So Steppenwolf is the uncle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is he trying to get in favor with his nephew?
Because his nephew.
Because I guess the nephew's more powerful, right? Like he conquered.
Darkseid's the most powerful, right? And
yeah, he rules the world now and stuff. So, because they're like they're like gods, like new gods, right? So, yeah, and you got a whole new Genesis thing. I don't know if
that's right. There was like other gods, right, that he like defeated or overthrew.
And I'm pretty sure mother boxes are the good devices. The father boxes are the evil, corrupt versions of those.
Are there father boxes, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, so they changed some stuff around. I don't know if it's for the better or not, but yeah.
I mean,
interesting.
If you haven't watched Young Justice, either of you? No.
I need to watch them because I usually like for some reason YouTube will recommend clips from the DC animated stuff, and I'll watch it. I'm like, man, this is really good. I should probably watch these.
Yeah, you guys should watch it or you should give it a try at least because I don't know if it's better than the Justice League cartoon because that's pretty classic, but it's probably for me at least it's my favorite since then of it because it really what's really interesting about it is like each season. Like they actually fast forward through time. Sometimes I think too much, but you see tons of characters from DC Universe popping in and stuff, and it's really cool. Like you get a lot of Darkseid stuff too later on.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
All right.
I mean, we talked a little bit about the extra Flash stuff. Did you like seeing the which becomes his intro scene, I guess now, right? When he saves Iris.
Mm-hmm.
And the dog
Creepy.
was like that.
Good. It was creepy until he was feeding dogs, and I'm like, okay, now the hot dog makes more sense.
But then he's playing with her hair, and I'm like, come on, dude.
Who, Iris's hair?
Yeah, he does that. He pushes her hair away, so you can see her face.
Getting
and
her
just
eyes.
What?
Yeah, he's helping.
I don't know. Like, just save her. Let's just save her, Barry. Like, stop. creeping on her. And
Don't
just
make
save
it
her.
creepy. Come on.
Yeah. But the dog scene, I loved. I actually did like that dog scene a lot. Like, I thought that was really funny.
To me that saved it because he was coming off very creepy until the dog scene. Because
Yeah.
like grabbing that hot dog and it was just like, wow.
He just wanted to eat it. I thought he just wanted a snack.
Yeah, but it's also kind of weird. It's like, I'm going to save you, but first food. Yeah, haha.
Yeah.
You know.
But he moves so fast. It's like it doesn't matter, right? He can do everything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I thought.
That was a good payoff though with the dogs. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think
I
I found
with their hair. That was all you, Francis.
Now come on. I mean, he didn't have to touch it. He didn't have to do anything with the hair.
He
didn't
has to touch her to save her.
Well, yeah, grab her and save her. Don't.
I mean, maybe at the angle he grabbed her, it would have went into her throat and choked her or something.
I just feel like it just lingered too. I mean, he was admiring her way too long.
It's because it was slow mo. That's why.
Yeah, just save her life. Just save Iris. You guys, you have plenty of time to fall in love. Just save her life. And then the dog scene. Yeah, I loved it.
Do you like? I mean, the way they did the flash scenes, like when he's at super speed, and I mean, I think it was fine. I guess one of my problems is though that I think Bryan Singer
with the X-Men
in X-Men Days of Future Past, which is my favorite superhero movie, that Quicksilver scene I think set the bar so fucking high that no one can ever like top it. So like for me, I'm like, well, I've already seen this done a lot better, right? So
yeah,
I'm kind of just seeing the same stuff done again and again now at this point with the super speed people.
But I'm okay with that because how else are you really going to represent a person who moves faster than everyone else?
You do a $6 million man and you have him run slow and you make a sound effect like that.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Because I thought it was fine. Like it's really hard to. Because they even do it in the DC in the Flash TV show, where he's faster than everyone.
I like
else,
it better actually in the Flash TV show too.
I kind of feel well. Yeah, I understand why too, because there's not a lot less lightning.
The lightning is a little distracting. Yeah,
like so much less lightning, and doesn't linger as long. He does it for a little bit, and then they move on with the scene.
They have less budget.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Sometimes a limited budget is a good thing.
Just think of that. It absolutely is. Jonathan Paul says, after Jack Kirby went to DC, was successful creating Darkseid in the whole New God story, Marvel created their version of Thanos. Interesting.
Oh, I like that. I like that it was the other way around. And then this time, it feels like it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder who's more popular right now in media. How many beyond comic book fans, who would recognize who Thanos is versus Darkseid?
Oh, more people are going to recognize Thanos, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because the Avengers movies were so successful in the whole MCU.
Yeah.
Well, they also gave Thanos oh, sorry, what was that?
That's why I want a good Darkseid. We need a good version of him.
I mean, they also give Thanos kind of a very distinct voice with Josh Brolin, right? Like he has a voice, like that's his voice, right? And it's very distinct.
They need to give the Pee Wee Herman guy and make him do Darkseid's voice.
I'm going to kill you.
Ooh,
You said the word of the day.
Omega
Beam.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
I do. The guy who played Darkseid actually did a really good job though in this movie. Like that
Yeah,
voice
I don't
was
remember
good.
what he sounds like. I
No,
have
but the
no
voice
idea
was
what he
good. I
sounds
think it was good. It was menacing. It was Darkseid sounding.
like. Okay.
Yeah,
I felt. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I also haven't had as much Darkseid as I've had Thanos, so maybe I just need more Thanos.
Johnny says that scene with "Time in a Bottle" from the Days of Future Past, that was the song that was playing, was so well done. Agreed, Jeff. Liked it better than the Quicksilver scene where he evacuates the house.
Oh yeah,
it was better than the next movie scene where he does that.
Can I just say, I actually did like the weird music he played for everybody. Right in this, like everyone had like a scene where he played some kind of song I've never heard of before, but it's like a licensed song.
Yeah,
I was okay with it. I actually liked it. Like I was like,
I don't know if I was thrilled with that. It worked better in some than others.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like, given what we had to work with, I thought it was good.
Yes, Mystery Men, Jalou. That was Pee Wee Herman or Paul Rubens, right?
Yeah. Oh man.
Right. Okay. So, Superman suit.
Oh, okay.
So it's black in Snyder cut. It's blue in Whedon cut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I guess it was all CGI, huh? Because they just swapped it
Apparently.
out.
Well, it's funny because so many articles came out. I don't know how true they were, but they're like, see, he was going to do the black suit the entire time. Look, there's photos of him in the black suit. I'm like, are you sure that wasn't just color corrected after the fact? Like that wasn't just CGI'd later? But fans were so adamant to say that no, that it was planned that he would be in the black suit.
When he comes
whether
back
it's
to
true or
life
not.
in the comic books, he had that black suit. That's where
He
it
did.
first came from. So
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
but he had a mullet too, which I'm
Yeah.
sad he doesn't have.
they missed out. Missed out on the
Could have
mullet.
had a mullet.
They could have just swapped it and given the mustache instead.
Wait, Smash Mouth did the theme? Oh, to Mystery
Oh,
Man?
to
did
Mystery
it?
Man, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. John Paul says the black one made no sense. I hate the black suit. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Because again, the blue suit for me, again, just kind of represents, I'm trying to do a more human, nice Superman, right? The black suit is the more like.
What's funny is when he's evil,
He's in the regular suit.
he's in a regular suit. In the future, it's kind of like, wait a minute.
Oh, is he in the Snyder cut? Is he back in blue?
Yeah.
Well, it had to correspond with the first Nightmare scene because he was in the original blue suit in that as well when he's about to punch Batman's face in.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what to say about the suit other than like I like that when he walked through the ship and all of the slits in the Kryptonian ship looked like vaginas, and they would open up and they would show the suits. They did. I can't not see
What?
that.
Come on.
Anyway, and they open up and they show all the different suits, and yet there was a power suit in there, and I'm like, oh, we're the power suit. That'd be awesome.
What's a power suit?
It looked like just a big bulky power suit. I don't know. I don't know.
Kind
If
of
it was
look
an
like
actual power suit.
Lex Luthor's suit in a way, but yeah, I think there are Kryptonian power suits though in the comic books.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is replying to your. You came back at the perfect time, Martha, for his.
Martha, I know
vagina
you haven't
comments.
seen it yet, Martha. I know you haven't seen it yet, but when you see the scene, you're gonna see them. Like
A
they
ship
look
full
like-
of vaginas.
Only because you said that now. Nobody else thought that.
That's the first thing I thought when I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of vaginas in this ship. Anyway,
John Paul says the black suit comics was part of the healing process. He woke up in it, then changed as soon as he got the chance. In Snyder version, he chooses the suit, no reason.
I mean, maybe he just like this is a black tie affair.
What?
I need to look fancy for the last fight.
It's like
You're
I'm
right.
mourning my
Francis-
death.
Francis did see a lot of sexual innuendos in this movie.
It's probably because I kept falling asleep.
Yeah, John, first their comment, now this.
I just every time I woke up, I'm like, whoa, God, vaginas.
You should have seen him in
Hot
Super
dogs,
Geeked Up this.
vaginas.
Yeah. You should have seen the Super Geeked Up this week, folks. He was talking about cupping testicles.
Yeah. I was just saying.
Right? Yeah.
Interesting.
Julie says, when will we see the return of the Michael Keaton Batman? Oh, guess what? In the
Flash.
Flash movie.
Yeah.
So not too long.
Is Ezra Miller still the Flash?
As far as I know.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if there was I don't know.
I mean, I haven't, unless somebody's heard otherwise.
I mean, it's been so long. I don't know if they've he's aged out.
It's just CGI him. Be fine.
Right.
All right, I want to talk the fight with Superman after he's resurrected, which, from what I remember, is actually pretty similar in both versions. With small differences. Oh, okay. Actually, the main difference is Lois Lane starts there in the Snyder cut. In the Whedon cut, she's the big gun Batman brings in to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
Like she appears at the end, which I also liked.
Which kind of fits the prophecy more when Flash
right.
says Lois is the key.
Yes, and why Martian Manhunter made me think she's important as well. Actually,
Yeah.
So I didn't like this in the original. I don't like it now. For me, Superman. I mean, this has always been a problem with Superman, right? But in particular, this movie, I feel he's way overpowered. It's just ridiculous, particularly with, again, you guys can correct me because Marx and John Paul and stuff, you guys know more comics, I think more DC Comics history because I was more Marvel guy back then at that age. I feel like Wonder Woman should be able to go toe to toe. I thought they've established with Superman in the comics in the past. Like, she's supposed to be super strong. And a little bit she does, but Superman is definitely more powerful than her, like by far in this movie, I feel. And I'd rather see Wonder Woman, she's a freaking goddess, right? Be able to hold her own against Superman. I don't know. For me, like that's always how I've associated Wonder Woman. Like she's the one or the few people who can actually stand her own against it.
Actually, it's Martian Manhunter, but
You're not
As
wrong
Wonder
though.
Woman.
You're not wrong. You're right. Yeah,
Actually, Martian Manhunter is really strong too. You're right.
Yeah.
I think Wonder Woman is close to his power level, but she also has more combat training too. So if you do the combination, she's
got tons of combat.
Oh, you're
training from
right.
the Amazon.
That's true. Yeah.
Superman is just a brute, really.
He really is. He never shows any real technique. He's such a brute.
I don't
Johnny
know.
says Superman is supposed to be as strong as Superman. Yes, Jeff. Okay, thank you. Martha, by the way, is super excited about Michael Keaton's Batman. I love Michael Keaton's Batman as well, Martha.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, there we go. So sorry, please continue. Whoever was.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have the. Do you bleed? Yes, I definitely bleed, or whatever he says when he.
He was they were referencing the Batman v Superman, right?
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't say that.
I like that. I mean, it is really the same. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
I just wish they he's just so powerful. It's like, what's the point? Like he's too powerful.
I feel like he was even more powerful. I mean, not in that scene, but like when he fights Steppenwolf, wasn't he more powerful than before?
Yeah, Snyder cut. You're right. He's given him even a bigger beatdown this time. He already gave him enough of a beatdown the first time version.
Oh, the headbutt, right? He headbutts him, and then he headbutts him back.
Well, no, that's Wonder Woman.
That's Wonder Woman.
That was Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman headbutts him back.
He does
He
cheat.
just pummels. He pummels him.
He does cheat with Wonder Woman. He did fly up to get,
don't
advantage.
cheat on Wonder Woman,
Because
man.
everybody knows higher ground. We know the Jedi rule. You always win with higher ground. So that's why he won with the headbutt against
That's
Wonder
true.
Woman.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But no, with Steppenwolf, it was like Steppenwolf did his big thing with the axe, and it didn't do anything, So there was no way.
Oh, with the shoulder. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Darkseid couldn't take an axe to the show.
That's true. That's very.
That's
true.
the thing. If your big bad Steppenwolf in this case, he has to be able to at least somewhat go against Superman or somewhat threaten him, right?
Did he in the Whedon cut?
No.
Oh, okay.
In the Whedon cut, Superman kept getting pulled away to save the people with the Flash. He was saving the residents.
Okay.
He was helping Cyborg with the boxes, pulling apart.
Okay.
So he intercut that so the other heroes got to fight Steppenwolf more.
That's good. I like that
Right.
actually.
But in this
Yeah.
version, Superman is just like, it obliterates him right away. Like, okay, that's the problem, man. Like, it's so ridiculous. I said on the panel of DragonCon, I wish Superman was not in this movie, actually. Because, like, I think it actually would have, in many ways, just, I don't know, like.
in many
How
ways.
can you think he's ever going to lose, right? If he's this powerful.
Yeah, because even in his own movie, those 3 Kryptonians barely did anything to him, right? Like he took all 3 of them out with very little problem.
Well, they fought like for an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
I mean, so right,
yeah.
they do establish this in definitely the Snyder cut, right?
Yeah.
That's why he came back. He knows he can't defeat him.
Yeah, that's the scream at the very beginning of the movie. Or the
I've
scream
never
heard
liked
around the
Superman
world.
being as powerful as he is. Really, I guess I just be honest with you.
It's just, I mean, unfortunately, that's how he's always been,
How
though.
did Batman have any chance with them in DC? I mean, why didn't Superman should just totally just super speeded and knocked his head off before he said.
Well, that's why he had the kryptonite. He had the kryptonite gun thing.
Yeah.
He had the kryptonite gas to
Yeah.
weaken him.
And Superman was trying to reason with him first and say hey, we should be on the same side.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be so powerful because it's ridiculous. It was very, it was a letdown. Well, it just made Superman look vicious. It made him brutal and beating down.
Yeah, he's going to be that strong. You're right. Can we not cut his horn off, fry him with your eye beams? Keep beating on him.
And then toss him, and so Wonder Woman can behead him.
Oh God, so bad.
It's like Justice Murder League. I mean, what the heck?
I mean, insult to injury, I guess, right?
I guess.
And actually, in the very beginning of Superman, he actually is not this powerful. He can't even fly initially in the comics. He just jumps high.
Yeah, I was watching.
So
it was yeah.
And
Go on,
lifting
sorry.
a car
Mhm.
is actually not that crazy. Spider-Man can lift a car, right? So he's gotten, I think, progressively stronger as they started to do more with Superman from his initial origins.
Well, if you recall, though, I guess he does in the black suit fly up to the sun before he meets up with Steppenwolf. Doesn't he absorb the sun? And because black absorbs more light, he was absorbing even more sun. So
Well, the sun gives him his power, right?
right, yeah. So the sun gives his powers, and he has the black suit on, absorbing more of that radiation, and he's like, I am now overpowered. Maybe he became overpowered because of his time absorbing the rays. I don't know.
I think Snyder just wants him to be vicious god.
But I don't get why. Like, that's, he's like, that's how he is in the comics. It's like, really? Is he this bad in the comics? I don't remember him just like brutally killing everyone in the comics.
See, I don't know. I would like to sit down with Snyder and be like, so what comic books have you read? Because I'm pretty sure you're just reading Frank Miller and that's it. And that's your entire interpretation of it'd be like if I'm like Batman, I love that 60s TV show. It's great. And then I would make a movie with nipples on the costumes. That's what would happen. Because I would skew my view of Batman.
No, that's what he did.
That's a great point. I actually feel you're right. Frank Miller has influenced a lot of filmmakers, and you're right. They probably, I don't know. That's like the version that they go off of, right?
Yeah,
I think so. From interviews with Snyder, it seems like he thinks that's the version of Batman, which Superman's not very good in that version. He's pretty dark. So that might be also what skews him a little bit there.
Julie says, the problem of a character being so strong is that the villains will have to be so much more over the top. It's like the problem with the giant villain ships in sci-fi space movies. And then he says, SF Debris did a video analysis of the evolution of Superman and how over the decades he slowly becomes so uber powerful. Interesting.
Cool. And that's the thing. They already shot their load with Doomsday.
More sexual in your
I know. But Doomsday was the one person who could kill Superman, right? Doomsday was the one thing, and they already used him, So it's like, everyone else is going to be nothing to him from here on out.
Well, Darkseid should be more powerful than Doomsday.
Oh no, he took an axe to the neck, bled all over the place.
That's why they shouldn't have done that scene. By the way, here apparently Jalou is having you and Martha to go on a double date.
I know. I've been reading. I'm just like, come on, guys, come on. We're trying to do a show.
Double days being planned for you while we talk about this.
Come on, I hope.
I know is Red Lobster, by the way.
Look, as long as they're. I know. I love Red Lobster.
I didn't know there's Red Lobster. I've never been to Red Lobster because I don't.
You know who doesn't like Red Lobster? Aquaman.
Do they have good biscuits though?
Cheddar Bay biscuits, man, are the best. Cheddar Bay biscuits. Oh.
They are.
I could take a bag of those home and just be happy.
I love biscuits, actually. All right.
Yeah.
John Paul, and now we have Jim Lee acting as the main source of comics lore interpretation for the movies. That's bad. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. This lineup and storyline is influenced by New 52 origin of Justice League.
I mean, I think Jim Lee is obviously the greatest comic book artist ever. But yeah, he's the head of all DC now. Isn't it the comic division? I think, or one of the co-heads, him and maybe
something like that. They keep switching,
I mean, well, that's different. I'm talking. Yeah, he's different than the movie, the versions and stuff. And I think Jeff Johns is still actually one of the head guys over at the movie.
I think so.
TV
I think so too. Yeah.
Did Francis suggest the racy Joker dialogue seems up his alley?
I'm gonna give you a reach around there, Batman.
What? All right, we might as well talk about the fucking epilogue.
That says it all.
Is the Martian Manhunter with Batman? That's after the epilogue? Is that the very last thing we see?
Yeah, because he wakes up from the dream and then goes outside to see the Martian Manhunter.
Why is Batman having psychic dreams? Since when was that a thing that Batman had?
I mean, it's fine. I don't know. Like, where else are you going to get these, right? Like, where else are you going to get these premonitions, I guess? That's a superpower, right? He doesn't have super speed, doesn't have super strength. He can see into the future.
But yes,
Rich.
Jalou, that is a good point. Being a good artist does not necessarily mean a good writer. Good writers without sufficient forethought might not create good progressing storylines.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Because that's right. What's your superpower? I'm rich.
Which is in both versions.
Which I love that car. I want that car so bad.
Tesla,
that Mercedes was awesome.
No, they're Mercedes. They're always Mercedes. They must have sponsored it because later Wonder Woman is in a Mercedes, which is one of his cars that she borrowed.
Yep. All Mercedes. Oh man. Oh, that ship. She wants to be flying. She wants to fly. Yeah. That. What?
Why are you making that sexual too? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
what is going on here?
What is going on with you?
She wants to fly.
He can talk to computer stuff.
I guess. I don't know.
It's not sexual at all. Good God.
I didn't mean for it to be.
Oh, thank you, John Paul. Thank you so much for your. I love always hearing
Yeah.
your insight and your knowledge of comics. Appreciate it. Hope to see you at Dragon Con this year. So I fucking just hated the epilogue. That's the scene out of everything. Should not have. There's no reason for that. It was so fucking long. You can cut like 20 minutes of the movie just by getting rid of that.
Especially, we're not going to get a sequel, right? So, most likely.
Well, Snyder said he's no longer producing, or he's not making any more movies for Warner Brothers. So,
Wait, what?
I
Did
mean,
you say that?
yeah.
Really?
He says I'm not. Yeah, he said it in an interview. Yeah,
Why?
because they're not hiring for him anything. He's done. He's technically done with Warner Brothers
He
altogether.
won't in the future do something with them. Doesn't have to be DC related, obviously.
Oh well, I mean, he just said he's not. I didn't say. I guess I should have been clear. He just said he's not working currently with Warner Brothers.
Oh, currently. Well, yeah, that's fine. That doesn't mean ever.
Yeah. Well, one can hope.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
I thought you liked this version.
Look, I said it was better. That I thought it was more coherent and had a better flow to it than the Whedon cut, but I didn't like either. I'm like,
Okay.
in the end, I didn't like either movie.
So, you're also guys also aren't fans of the epilogue.
Nah.
It felt tacked on.
We got Mohawk Slade. That was something.
Oh, that was interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mohawk Slade.
That's the problem, right? Like it doesn't really make any. It totally interrupts the flow of the movie. I think it doesn't make any sense for an ending, particularly being that long.
Well, it tells you what happens because the epilogue scene or the scene right before that was, or not the before that, but was it
The Luther.
Luther tells him, "Hey, by the way, you want to know who Batman is? It's this guy." And then it's like, well, I guess he doesn't kill him or whatever he was supposed to do with Batman. Like, I guess they just chill and hang out.
Just got a haircut.
Yeah.
And, hanged out. Give him best buds.
Man.
The epilogue between that and the Batman v Superman, he clearly wanted to do a Brave New Metropolis type story. I actually don't know what is Brave.
I don't know that either. I was thinking Injustice just because
Tell
it
us,
is.
Scorpio, more about that Brave
Yeah.
New Metropolis. Listeners May says, Marx, there is a vague reference to in the 60s Adam West Batman that he can see into people's dreams with his Bat computer. So I think the psychic dreams were homage to that. That's interesting.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know he could do that with his Bat computer.
There's a lot of things to do with
Bat
the Bat computer.
dreams.
Bat dreams.
The Batuzi, Yeah.
I mean, yes, I definitely think the epilogue was set up for the future movies.
Yeah.
But again, it was made after. I was under the impression it was made after the fact. Like it was.
You
That
think-
was
you think
one of
this
the
was
added
part that was
scenes.
shot late. Well, I guess we don't know that for sure, though, right?
I feel like Jared Leto said he filmed that scene.
Well, yeah,
right?
Jared Leto. Yeah, he did film it later, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be where so that must be. Doesn't mean
Okay,
necessarily
if that-
filmed the whole thing. It could have just been Joker's
That's
scene
true.
because they cut around. That could have been inserted in there later.
Because why? Right? Because there's no reason to shoot it at all, really, if you know you're not going to do any more movies. Unless, I guess, just to say that you wanted to. Oh, yeah, well, as you just say, I want to do everything I had originally planned. I guess maybe.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I don't
Maybe
know.
maybe he's kind of hoping that it'll put enough pressure on him. Who knows? He's playing some poker with him.
It wasn't only the dialogue between Leto and Affleck.
Oh, so the whole thing.
I'm not tell
I
us
don't
Johnny
know.
more, but
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure if they meant that's the only stuff that was new. Brave New Metropolis is an episode of the animated series Alt Universe where Lois dies and Superman decides the only way to save Earth is to conquer it. Oh, the Superman animated series from the 90s.
Okay.
Cool. Interesting. Very interesting.
Remember that one Justice League story and the animated series where he got all his Superman robots? They went
There
to
were
an
Superman robots.
alternate Earth, and Superman had a bunch of robots and he took
Did he?
over the planet. Yeah,
That's crazy. I
He
mean,
took over.
yeah.
yeah.
Remember
I
that?
Remember that one.
I don't remember that. I need to watch. I need to really watch those animated series. I have to take
By
time
the way,
to do
they
it.
are actually on HBO Max now. The Justice League animated series.
Oh, cool.
And Young Justice.
Oh,
All
nice.
right. He's really pushing Young Justice.
Well, I need to see the Justice League first. I think that series.
What came out first?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah. You
The
can.
cartoon.
Yeah.
The cartoon.
Yeah.
But continuity wise, they're not tied together. If that's what you're
Oh.
thinking.
The Justice Lords timeline. Oh, that's when they're all bad, right? The Justice Lords.
Mm.
We know the pressure from Marvel from DC Action Hour based on this discussion.
I mean, look, I'm really happy that the Snyder Cut people have a movie that they love, because I see a lot of love whenever it's talked about online, and it's a lot of people fighting for the Snyderverse. And when the Suicide Squad trailer came out, and look at the right under the comments was just hashtag Snyderverse. It's like, okay, I mean, I get it, but I mean, and who knows? But I'm just glad, look, people needed, or the Snyder fans needed closure. Well, actually, I guess they don't want closure because they wanted to continue. but
no,
I mean, technically, this is kind of closure, right? Like, you get the movie you were looking for and asking for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I'm glad he got to come back and finish and do what he wanted to do with it, right? Because he was the original director. He should get to do that. That's great. Mm-hmm. And you're right. I think that's, for all the people who love it, that's awesome that they get that. That's fantastic, I think.
Yeah.
And again, there's definitely stuff in here I really liked.
Yeah.
Overall, I preferred the Whedon version. Again, overall, really, I think there should be an amalgamation of these two versions. That actually would be my favorite. Mm-hmm. Take the best of both worlds.
And I think if their HBO Max is interested, it'd be great if they ran with that and did 2 more movies and wrap it up, while we get a different, like, I don't want that vision for their entire universe. That's the thing. Like, just like Joker, love the Joker movie, but I don't want that to be every DC movie either, right? I don't want darkness and reality, gritty reality, and Shazam, like the Joker was.
I mean,
like, you find out, he's like, Billy Batson, you're actually crazy, and this is never really, you don't have powers, you're mentally deranged.
Oh my God, they do that. Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's seeing the Suicide Squad trailer, I'm like, they're not doing that, right? Like, Suicide Squad is so different from like everything else. At least based on the trailer. I mean, who knows? I mean, James Gunn,
new version.
Yeah, James Gunn did the they're not calling it a sequel, but it's a sequel.
I think it's like a soft reboot, sort of. It's sort of like how Hulk did, where you can kind of like pretend it was valid, but not technically.
I mean, he does mention stuff from the Incredible Hulk in the Endgame, so like, it kind of happened.
But no, I think you're right, Marx. If they did these ones for HBO Max, I actually think that'd be smart, man. And they, this actually got a lot of this. One article I read, I think from Variety or something, it was like an independent site that tracks views. It actually got quite a few. It actually even did slightly better than Falcon and Winter Soldier premiere. In terms of number of
that
views.
makes sense, though, to me. Yeah.
Well, it's 4 hours versus 1 hour.
That was just in terms of the number of actual views, not the minutes. Yeah. It was like 1.8 million to 1.7 or something.
Yeah. But I mean,
super close. And again, that was just initial things, right? But anyway, I mean, it seems like it's doing fairly well for them, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it would be worth exploring if HBO Max wants to, because I wouldn't mind seeing where it goes. It's just not I would rather see Superman differently and
happy,
Wonder Woman and stuff. Yeah, I would like to see him smile occasionally. I would like that direction that they're kind of going for the main DC universe. I don't mind if they want
angsty teenagers as sons.
Well, he smiles. He's way nicer than the Snyder one.
Way.
He smiles a lot in Superman and Lois.
Oh yeah,
he's actually happy half the time in Superman and Lois. Like, he actually has things to be happy about.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I think that's closer to the true spirit of the character. I don't mind occasional alternate versions of characters where they're dark and stuff, or they go in different dramatic direction. I just don't want that at the expense of the main version. If that makes sense.
But they could totally do that. They could totally do things on HBO Max that are separate from the movie, right? In theater movie thing, right? Some of the stuff they're doing there.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'd be cool with that.
I just want to mention one little scene, just because I'm like.
Before you do that, can I just share a couple of quick comments?
No, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
We'll go to that. Scorpio says, I thought Man of Steel was okay. I liked it, but not the Superman movie anyone wanted. I thought Batman v Superman was bad and Justice League tolerable. So I hated the idea of Snyder Cut, but I was blown away how much I enjoyed this.
It's awesome.
Well, I think you guys were actually, Mark's at least, right, was kind of surprised that you actually enjoyed parts of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scenes added in that added to Cyborg and Flash that were useful.
So yeah, so even though I didn't love everything, I'm still happy I watched it and then it got to be made because it was just interesting to compare the versions too, right?
It's a really cool experiment, right? We never had anything like this happen before. So all the industry experts are wondering, like, is this going to shape the future? Like, are fans going to be able to pressure studios to recut stuff, or how's that?
Not.
Is that good or bad, or what?
Bad. Probably not great actually, but it is interesting.
Yeah,
Scorpio says Snyder certainly gets the physicality of superheroes and really made a larger than life depiction that this was epic. And Johnny's with you on Superman and Lois. He loves that show.
I think
it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Julu says wants to give him an 8-year furlough. Like what? Take 8 years off and then get a whole bunch of writers and get a new DCU movie series Bible. Wow, that's not going to happen. They're never going to take.
Yeah, in other words, start from scratch.
They're what the creator of Babylon 5 did. I think is what he's referencing there. All right, sorry, Francis. What did you want to? Yeah, you want to mention?
I don't know. There was just one small scene that I wanted to bring up before we wrap things up. Here is was he hinting, like, was Snyder weirdly hinting at a Bruce Diana relationship when they did the mouse scene where like they both go for the mouse at the same time? And like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, right? Like they touch hands or something. Like,
in some comic books they do.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm like,
more recently she's been with Superman.
Wait, where's Lois?
I don't know. I didn't read that.
I was gonna say that's weird. That's weird.
Well, they rebooted it again, so I think that's separated.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
The Justice League animated series actually played a little bit with Batman and Wonder Woman flirting and having a possible thing. They never went there, but it was nice. It was well done. So I think he was subtly, hinting at that.
Because I thought that was so funny. Like, that's such a weird scene to put in there without hinting more of a relationship. But then they never went anywhere. Like, it didn't do anything after that. It was just like, oh.
That was for the next movie. They fall in love, and then she dies, and he goes, no!
Joker, I need that reach around now.
What's with you with the reach around? Good God.
He said it. I didn't.
Joker said it.
Oh, did he actually say it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've already
Joker actually said that. I was like, why did you say that?
He's going to give him Batman a reach around?
Yeah.
Good Lord. Gross.
He says that. And then Batman says, I'm going to kill you. Like, okay.
Effing.
Oh, I'm going to fucking kill you. Yeah.
They're just in love. That's all it is. Love-hate relationship.
Yeah. Oh,
that lipstick all smeared on his face. That's just because they were just making out.
That's gingivitis, Marx. Gingivitis, man. He needs a dentist.
Where does his grill go?
Exactly.
Jalou says, everyone wants the next Marvel, the next Lord of the Rings, but are not willing to put in the hard work to create a good foundation, good frame for such long-term ventures to build upon. That's a good point.
Yep.
Well, for Marvel, it was a mistake. It was an accident. They just wanted to make a move. They wanted to make Iron Man. And then it just kind of built into something. I don't think they really knew.
They figured it out after.
They had a vision. I thought they had I think they had a plan, right? Even back then.
Well, yeah, because they did do the event, like they did introduce Nick Fury at the after credits.
I think they were definitely building towards Avengers even back then.
Yeah, I think it took them phase 1 to really nail down that vision, but yeah, they were moving that direction. And think about it, Iron Man was not a very well-known character back then, No,
not
at all.
Even Captain America wasn't super well-known, and now they're just everybody knows them, and that's a great. They succeeded amazingly, and I think the new Disney Plus shows are going to take it to the next level for them. For that,
I think so too. Yeah.
Johnny says originally Wonder Woman was going to have gotten together with Bruce Wayne and pregnant by him before Superman returned. What? No way. Really?
Yeah, I read somewhere also that like Superman Lois's kid is supposed to be the next Batman.
Yeah, I read that too.
Oh, is this in the comics? Does he mean?
No, in the movie.
In the movie?
Because Lois is pregnant, in the movie.
Right.
And then, he said that her kid.
Oh wait, Lois. Is this Lois he means? What did they got together with Bruce Wayne?
No.
No. I think
somewhere too or something.
Man, could you imagine that? It's like, oh, you died, then I got it with your lady.
I fucked your lady.
She was.
I forgot my bat condoms.
She was lonely.
Now instead of we can both yell Martha and Lois because
we have so much in common.
No, Lois was really Martian Manhunter.
Oh, and he's trying to, see, it's all part of his plan.
It's all part of his plan.
Yeah, no, Johnny says yes, it was Lois. They were going to do a Lois. I thought I heard that somewhere, actually.
Wow, that's crazy.
They said
That's
they changed it
crazy.
to Kibbe and Clark's because Bruce says, congratulations, we don't have to have them go on Maury to find out who the is.
Are you? Oh my gosh, that's silly. I mean, it makes sense in a way because how they got tied together with his death, but
That'd be gross. That's gross.
terrible. That's terrible.
Scorpio says there was clearly a Batman Wonder Woman ship they tried to force for a bit in the movie.
It gives a new meaning though to the whole paying for the farm. It's like, I owe you.
Oh, that's right. How did you get the farm? I bought the bank. I think I owed you.
Figured I owed you. Yeah, because I knocked up Lois. Yeah.
Oh, God. So bad. Oh, that's so bad.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at all these comments here.
Yeah.
Let's see. By the way, listeners may just says he wants the next version of Super Geeked Up. All right, cool. I like that.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's get that on HBO Max. Scorpio thought you guys talking about fans controlling possible things, right? He says fans already control the studios to an extent. Look at cancel culture. I don't think Snyder Cut movement is going to change things going forward with COVID. They needed easy content. Remember, Snakes on a Plane? Listening to fans proved already to be a horrible idea.
Snakes on a Plane was
Although
amazing.
He says, I love Snakes on a Plane, but they would have actually made money with a PG-13 movie instead. I see.
Yeah, because really the only rated R scene was like in the beginning. I don't think it was it wasn't that bloody or anything otherwise.
I remember when that came out, there was a marketing campaign, and I surprised Julie. Like she got a call, like you could do this thing online, so that she got a phone call and she picks it up and it's
Oh, it's Jackson, really?
yeah, and he's like effing snakes on effing plane and stuff like that, and she just thought it was hilarious.
Wait, it was something you can like have a recording.
Yeah, I'd be like Julie, blah blah blah, and then he just goes in this whole thing about snakes on the plane.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was funny. She got it. Yeah. They need more marketing campaigns like that. What happened to those kind of campaigns?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I don't know.
Yeah, have like Batman talking to you and stuff, right?
Yeah.
He'll be like, I'm going to fuck your wife.
He's like, oh, I killed your husband, and now let's get it on.
Do you want to reach around?
Oh, man.
Let's see. Sorry, listeners. Yes, I think France and I would be totally down if HBO Max helped us make future seasons of Super Geeked.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That'd be great.
Francis could say all the sexual innuendos he wants on HBO Max.
That's true.
That's true.
And you're right, Johnny. There is actually a count by the
that's a good
MPAA
point.
about how
No,
many
that's a
F-words
good
in a
point.
PG-13 movie.
He'd only be able to say it once, and that's it. Oh, that'd be terrible.
Well, who? Batman shouldn't say it at all.
No. I mean, for Snakes on the Plane, that's what he was saying.
Oh, Snakes on the Plane. Yeah. That's right. He can only say mother effing snakes and then not mother effing plane.
No, he would have had to say his original line, which is monkey fighting snakes on a Monday to Friday plane. That's what he'd have to say.
That's the what is that? The TV dub.
That's
right?
the TV dub. Yeah. I have had it with his monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
I just love it the best. I love it that the plane does not fly on the weekends.
And the snakes only fight monkeys. I don't know why you're worried about it because they only
it must be just a flight for people who go to work, all the time Monday to Friday.
I commute through plane.
Wow.
Oh man.
Well, some people actually do, right? They take short flights sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Vegas to LA or vice versa or something, right?
I knew someone who flew down from San Francisco to LA to work during the week, and they would just. I mean, it's such a good paying job.
They would stay there during the week.
Yeah, they would just stay during the week, and they'd go home over the weekends. Yeah.
Sure. Scorpio says, "Blast from the past." I remember those campaigns about the voicemail and stuff like you're talking about.
Yeah, oh man, I guess because we're online and everything's like a Twitter campaign now or something.
Well, but you could get they could still do voicemails, or they could get a text or something, right? You could get a text from a character.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like that actually. That'd be really cool.
Come on, imagine that you get the text like a motherfucking snake. You're like, what?
The sequel to Snakes on a Plane.
And it says from Sam Jackson, as the person who's.
It has his face on there. It's like, oh.
He says, ironically, the TV dub is more quoted and memed now. Oh,
it kind of is, yeah.
Monkey fighting snakes? Is that what they said?
Yeah, I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
That is the best correct dub of a line ever. I have so many questions now, right? Like, what kind of rivalry do these snakes have with these monkeys, right? Like, this must be like hundreds of thousands of year old rivalry that these sentient snakes and monkeys have, and they only do it Monday through Friday. That's the only times they fight.
The sequel was going to explore all that. There was a directing note that told the whole story. We just missed it.
Oh, right, like the hearing the baby's heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. They did the same thing with the dubbing for Die Hard, and I was trying to find the line where he goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon," or something like that. Like it's so
Mr. Falcon. That's
something dumb like that. I don't remember what it was, but it's like,
Falcon and Winter Soldier reference already.
I don't know.
Back then,
you need that in the show. Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
It's so weird.
It is. Oh my god, it is from the second movie. It's Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Yeah, I
can see the soldier guy that's support for Falcon, like saying that to him. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it was in the ground support.
Oh yes, I know who you mean from the pilot. Yeah.
Oh my god! And then in Live Free and Die Hard, or Die Hard with a Vengeance, it's Yippee-ki-yay, my friend. God.
Okay. Why would he be calling Hans Mr. Falcon? That makes no sense.
No, this is from This is
the first one.
In the first one, he doesn't actually say. He just says Yippee-ki-yay. He doesn't say anything else.
No, he says Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
No, he does.
No, yeah, but I mean the dubbed version, it's just Yippee-ki-yay. Apparently,
Oh.
the TV version, he just says Yippee-ki-yay.
What is the Mr. Falcon? Which one is that from?
Look, if Mr. Falcon's from Die Hard 2.
Oh, he says Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker in multiple movies? I thought it was only the first movie.
Yes, he says it in all three movies.
Yeah.
It's gotta be
there's like 5 movies now, unfortunately.
Well, the other 2 were PG-13, so he doesn't say it in those 2.
Interesting. The wheels are coming off the show now. Well, hey, I'm surprised we lasted this long, Johnny. This is a record.
Look, we're not talking about Star Trek, so we're good.
Oh, Scorpio says the TV dub line sounds like something that results from an SGU game. We should do that as a game.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We'll have to think about something.
Let's see here. All right. Okay, cool. So I guess any last things you guys want to talk about before we go to overall ratings?
I'm looking at my notes, actually, because I did actually take notes.
There's so much stuff in this. I actually, after each hour I watched, I went and wrote down notes right away because I knew I was going to forget if I didn't.
Yeah, so I put Superman scream heard around the world, sniffs Aquaman's shirt, music is all melodramatic. So there was so much more death in the bomb scene in that France or wherever she was.
The terrorist guys.
Yeah. Why did the Land of Man just bury their mother box and not have an elaborate defense?
Because they're men. They're not special.
They just buried it, right? Like everyone else has we're going to have this defense system.
I was wondering if they were going to try to work, but it didn't make sense, I guess, the time period. There was more like, Vikings?
Yeah, they looked like they were knights.
Templars. I thought they were going to do the Templar idea maybe or something.
But they had castles. They could put in a castle or something. And then I did have a note here that says the slits in the walls of the Krypton ship all look like vaginas. I did write that down. I did write that down as a note.
In case you didn't hear it earlier, folks.
I think you just fell asleep during it, and those your dream sequence happened there.
He was having a wet dream, is what was happening.
Yeah. Well, my note right after that is fell asleep 7 times. So I did note that.
Well, you know what? HBO Max probably like that because they're like, oh, we got all these extra watch time minutes from this guy. This is great because you have to keep rewatching it.
It did take. I think I started it at 12, and I think I didn't finish it till about almost 6 o'clock. And that's without breaks. That was just me kind of going back. So yeah. There you go.
It wasn't a half-day affair for you.
Almost.
Well, I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad. The trailer looked like a lot of fun.
Can't wait to see Starro.
Yes. Got a kaiju.
I'm looking forward to the Bebo movie.
I mean,
who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Because Bebo loves you, Jeff.
I know.
Bebo
I appreciate
loves
that.
He will give you a reach around.
Come on, Mark. That's too far. That's too far. You just ruined the only thing I liked about Legends. Thanks a lot. Now you're the only one to blame. No, I hate Legends.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Scorpio. I picture our mother box, the one of men, ending up in a warehouse a la Indiana Jones guarded by top men. That would make sense.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Because we never wait. Oh no, wait. Actually, there's different versions in the cuts. In the in the Snyder cut, it's the Nazis, right? And they recovered from the Nazis. Is that what the story is? The mother box.
Well, several people recover it. So the
But isn't it?
Nazis
Didn't they
recover
bring
it.
in the
and then-
Nazis, right?
In
They
that,
did.
yeah.
And that's how the Allies got it, right, from them.
Mhm.
In the Whedon version, it's World War One, actually.
Oh, which would have tied really well with Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
All right. Any last things on Marx for Justice League Snyder Cut?
Nope.
All right.
No.
So, are we doing we're gonna do mother boxes as the rating system?
Sure.
Carrie.
Yeah.
So I out of 4, right, as usual. All right. I don't even know. Francis, I guess we'll start with you. I'm deciding still.
All right. I mean, I tried to like it. I mean, look, there's stuff about it that I like. I like that it kind of made a more complete story. It filled in blanks that need to be filled in, and it gave much more love to Cyborg and to the Flash. I still fell asleep 7 times. I thought it was boring. Just couldn't get myself into it. I don't know. So I'm giving it what I'm giving 1.5 boxes out of 4.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, listeners may says if Bebo has a movie, I'm sure it would be animated or a real life Muppets like movie, since HBO does own Sesame Street now.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a good point. I will give it 2.5 mother boxes. Again, I prefer the Whedon theatrical version. I really love that movie. But this thing, again, like you said, this thing has some really nice stuff in it, like particularly Cyborg, some extra Flash stuff, some other things here and there. But again, just too long, too many things that should have been cut out. But again, 2.5, that's not bad. It's pretty it's decent.
Yeah. Above average.
Yes. All right, Marks.
I think I'm going to give it somewhere in between. I'm going to give it 2. 2 mother boxes.
All right.
I would have got an upgrade if Darkseid's voice was Bebo's.
Darkseid loves you.
Darkseid loves you.
You have failed me, Steppenwolf.
No hugs for you.
All right, that's gonna be another cut next to just for Bebo's voice.
Bebo cut.
The Bebo cut.
Darkseid loves you.
All right, so we need Snyder cut, Bebo cut.
Everybody's voice in Bebo. It'd be like, give you a reach round.
Oh, gross.
I'm going to fucking kill you. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yep,
Okay,
totally off the rails now, folks.
maybe we took it too far. Maybe we took it too far. It's getting late.
Yeah, it's getting
All
late.
right, so all right. So anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching. Everybody who is in the chat, appreciate it. Thank you for sharing all your thoughts. Again, no matter what we think, we love hearing what you guys think, and everybody has different opinions, which we love hearing. Thank you for sharing them with us. So if you're watching the post, thank you very much as well. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. I always read and respond to all those. One thing I got to mention, if you're watching live, tomorrow, Saturday, WonderCon at home kicks off. Once again, it's going to be an online version this year, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. So tomorrow, a panel I moderated called A Super Fun Guide to Dungeons & Dragons and Tabletop RPGs will be airing. We pre-recorded this, all these panels, but that will air tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It'll go live on the Comic-Con YouTube channel then. I have a link up on the Super Geeked Up homepage. If you click on it, it'll just say like private video right now, but when the time comes, it'll go live, and then you can watch it anytime after that. Hope you enjoyed that. We had awesome panelists. It was a super fun discussion. I think really helpful for anybody who's interested in RPGs. So you can check that out. And I was on the Dragon Con panel yesterday about the Schwarzenegger off, where we debated Schwarzenegger characters in like a March Madness bracket style thing. It was a lot of fun. You can check that out, the American Sci-Fi Classics track on Dragon Con on their Facebook page or their YouTube. Mark, you were on another panel for Dragon Con yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was the Dragon Con Urban Fantasy panel talking about, we're doing a Supernatural rewatch, CW Supernatural.
Oh, nice.
And this one was about season 2. So it was, which is a really good season. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. If you check out YouTube and Urban Fantasy at Dragon Con, you should be able to find that. So
Oh, Julie, was there? Sorry, maybe I had the days where maybe it's Friday and Saturday. Sorry, not Saturday, Sunday. Was there WonderCon time today? Okay, great. You can go start going and watch WonderCon stuff already at
Nice.
the Comic-Con YouTube
Nice.
channel. Awesome.
Very cool.
Oh, it is Friday, Saturday. You're right. I'm sorry, I messed it up because it's usually Friday to Sunday, but it's just I think it's just 2 days this year. Yeah, I agree, Johnny. I know with you and Francis and obviously Mark's at other cons who we've been together. I know it's been awesome playing. We get to play tabletop games and stuff. Let's see. Oh, which Dean ship is your favorite, Marks, from Supernatural?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many. Him and Cass, of course.
Okay. All right, great. Hey, Deadshot, restore the Snyderverse. He says, all right, so good. We know that you enjoyed the film then. That was a great comment, actually, because even though we're about to wrap up, thank you. We know what you thought. We appreciate you tuning in. You can go back and rewatch the rest, obviously, if you like. We appreciate you stopping by. And let's see. Scorpio says, I saw the Sci-Fi Classics show. I had to wait to be approved, so I couldn't comment, but that was fun. Go Quaid. Yes, I won't ruin all of it, but Quaid from Total Recall made a very deep run. I'll just say that.
Oh,
And I was
nice.
arguing strongly for Quaid.
It's a good character, yeah.
In this. Yeah. Dean Steele? Dean Steele? How do you say it? Castile, right? Is who they use.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, Castile, yeah.
Okay, well, that's with the ship name, right? I get it. All right.
Season 2 when Dean goes to hell?
Season 2? No. It's whenever season 2 is. It wraps up with Dean with Sam dying, and then Dean making a deal with Crossroads Demon, so where he has 1 year to live to bring back Sam, and they think they've solved everything else, but really it's just begun. The whole plot.
It's just okay. Cool.
And the Hellmouth open, a lot of stuff got out.
Oh, do they call it the Hellmouth too, like Buffy?
No, I think it was Devil's Gate. I think it's what they call it.
They should call it the Hellmouth, though.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Like,
As
shut
happens. It's a good season though. Like you want to watch a TV show, like that whole season is like every episode, moves it forward and it's really tight. So
that's nice.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm not gonna make a joke. I was thinking of.
Don't be dirty.
I'm definitely not. It had to do with Francis' thought earlier. MarxPyle.com is where you can check out Marx's stuff, including Genretainment, which Francis and I were on a recent episode. Actually.
Yep. If you go genre, you can go there, but you also go to genretainment.com and you can find a couple episodes.
Oh, that's right. That's up now, right?
It's up now. And if you don't mind, if I mention one more thing too,
Of course.
I actually have an anthology book that it's coming out. It's a pre-order right now that I'm one of the authors in. I have a science fiction comedy in it, comedy short story. It's called Like Sun Rain, and it actually the pre-orders, all the money's going towards leukemia research. So it's for a good cause.
Nice.
Too.
What was the name again?
Like sunshine after rain.
Like sunshine after rain.
And it's coming out soon.
So it's available for pre-order right now. The print copies, and then which there's a limited number of copies for that, and it comes out in I think it's July something. I can't remember what day exactly.
Okay, but there on genretainment.com, there's links to all this stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Or marxpile.com.
Or marxpyle.com, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And you look them, and I'm tweeting about it all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
All right, Francis.
Yeah, come over to sinceresarcasm.net if you want to have a friend, because that's what my podcast is all about, is making a friend and being a friend to y'all who are looking for it. Because it's been a pretty crazy
If you're looking
time.
for it, folks, come. Sorry.
If you're looking for
You want to make sexual innuendos all the time.
Yeah.
weirdly enough, I'm so not like this in my own show.
I know,
Did
you
think
save,
you
great.
would
You
be?
save it for us. Thanks a lot.
I save it for you guys. But yeah, if you're looking for stuff, we just talk about that stuff. Sinceresarcasm.net, and go check it out.
Great. Supergeekedup.com, folks, is where you can check all this stuff. I do, and Marks and Francis are involved in lots of that stuff you'll find on the channel. Besides Super Geeked Up, we did a DC Action Hour. We have gaming streams that Marks has been on a bunch of those. And how to play videos, and Super Knocked Up, my superhero series, which is not 4 hours long, is on there. It's actually a very easy watch. It's only 2 seasons, and they're very short episodes. You can watch it in like under an hour and a half, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Need more slow mo. That's the problem.
Yeah.
More slow
Yeah,
motion.
you're right. I'm trying to. Yes,
You played it.
I have one episode where there's a little bit of slow mo.
I was gonna say you can control the speed on YouTube, so you can just put on quarter speed and just watch it that way.
Oh, there you go. That's the way to do it. Let's see here. Carrie Andy's taco still tastes funny to me. I'm not sure what this is. This a reference to
Supernatural, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, Supernatural. Okay, thank you. That's why I didn't get it. Let's see here.
Got a bunch of Supernatural fans in the house.
All right.
De la Maison.
Yeah, we're so sorry, Johnny. He lost his sister when they were kids. But so Lacuna research is close to his heart, he says.
Oh,
So that's great that you guys are doing that for the.
yeah, that's awesome.
The editor, she is a close family member who was diagnosed stage 4 leukemia. That's what motivated her to put this together.
All right. And listeners make, wow, Francis has definitely shown a totally different side tonight.
I mean,
I think he was just getting warmed up on Super Geeked Up this week. He was
Frisky Francis, someone call you.
Frisky Francis, I like it. Francis is getting frisky. Don't tell Martha.
I'm all for it. It's fine. I'm good. Got to change my username now. At Frisky
Francis. You might get some unfollows though. Then like, what the heck?
Are you kidding me? I'm gonna get so many follows after that.
Oh, you're
Frisky
right.
Francis.
That's what they're gonna think. Oh, good. I didn't think Martha was here. This is even better.
Hey there.
Wait, you have to read this. That's Sulu.
Oh my.
Throw the lotion in Francis's pit.
Oh God.
Wow.
Jeez. Oh boy. This always happens at the end of the show. All right. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. That's what we thought about Snyder Cut of Justice League. Thank you for joining us if you're live or in post. So we don't have another DC Action Hour planned right now. I guess we'll decide to see when the next Justice League cut comes out.
I thought we were doing the finale. No, well, you guys are on your own on that one.
All right. Well, we'll talk about possibly doing a Marvel thing. I'm actually down if you want to do it, Parks, because I got to watch the second episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier today, maybe.
I'm gonna watch it right after this. So
Nice.
I'm also gonna do a Godzilla marathon because they got all the Godzilla movies now on HBO Max.
In preparation for
Do they have
Kong.
the two like recent ones? They didn't.
Yeah. They just got they hadn't had the first. How word this? Like the first of this MonsterVerse
reboot?
Godzilla. Yeah, they hadn't had it, but they got it just this week. So now you got all those two. You got Khan. You got
Skull Island.
Yep, and
Nice.
and they have the one that's going to come out soon.
Because I love Skull Island. I have not seen either of those Godzilla movies. All right, maybe I will watch those. Ready for the.
You could kind of skip the first one. King of Monsters is probably where you want to start.
Is it? Well,
Because the first one, I don't even think has any. They don't even think those characters move on to the next movie because it's it's a bunch of. I don't think those characters even move on to King of Monsters. So
okay. Well, I'm just kind of curious. They also have all the classic ones too, or a lot of the classic ones. If you want to watch
Nice.
one.
Nice. All right. Cool.
Do they have the Matthew Broderick one?
Like the reboot before that one. Is that what is that?
Yeah,
The
the
one?
one from the,
2000,
late 90s
I
or
think,
2000.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
That's fine. I mean, I don't really need to see that again. That's fine. Julie says we should do a screener watch party of the Scooby-Doo Supernatural crossover. I still haven't seen that, and I would love to watch that.
We need to. Yeah, that would be good. It's a good
I'm down
episode.
with that. It's not. It's all Supernatural's on Netflix. Is that
What's so funny is in season 2, one of the early episodes that season, they're like, Dean's like, oh, this is so great. I never did a haunted house before. Maybe we'll see Fred and Daphne in there. Daphne's so hot. and that's hilarious because then it, comes back up here like, how many years later? So
that was in season 2? Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, a whole 10 years later or something like that.
It was like season
more than
14 or
10
something, right?
Yeah, it was like season 14. Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
That's cool. I like that. That's awesome. All right, folks. Well, anyway, we're going to do Super Geeked Up, of course, next Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, as normal. So Francis and I will see you for that. Marx, you have Genretainment episodes coming out every so often, right?
Yeah, usually Yeah, or not, I wouldn't say every Wednesday, but usually every Wednesday. So
Most Wednesdays.
most Wednesdays, yeah.
All right. Same day, Super Geeked Up. So look, you got lots of cool stuff to do on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
folks.
it's Wednesday morning. So you got Wednesday morning genretainment for your your ears, and then for your eyeballs, you got Super Geeked Up.
Wednesday
Nice.
night. Yep, that's right. Scener. I'm sorry. I didn't know Scener was a thing. It's a server WonderCon and Comic-Con are using to do anime watch parties. We'll have to check that out.
Nice.
Thank you. I didn't
cool.
know about that. That's actually really cool. Okay, great. Thanks everybody for watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend. March, you in that weekend. Fancy. Yes. So see you soon, everybody. Please stay geeky. Thanks for watching. Bye.